All right, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining in today on episode 106 of Tattoo Collecting 101, right here on Reinventing the Tattoo. We beam out nearly every day, so be sure to check out the full schedule of events we got going on either right here on the YouTube or on reinventingthetattoo.com. If you haven't joined us before, Reinventing the Tattoo is a community for tattooers, apprentices, collectors, and all who are curious about the world of tattooing. We aim to educate and inspire one another to create better art and tattoos every day. So be sure to share this with anyone that you think might be interested and subscribe so you don't miss out on all the educational content we've got going on. Real quick, just want to say thank you to the sponsors who make all of this possible. So thank you to World Tattoo Events, which has the largest, most comprehensive list of tattoo conventions going on in the world right now. Dealize Pro, known as Dermalize Worldwide, which was designed by wound care specialists specifically for healing tattoos. So be sure to check it out. As well as Tattoo Now, technology for tattooers. They're the leading edge in professional development, management, and digital tools for tattooers of all levels. Also, just want to say thank you to our affiliates, the Fireside Tattoo Network, as well as the Apprenticeship Diaries. And if you are interested in being a sponsor or want to reach out with any form of criticism or critique, please message it, praise as well, please. Please message us at management@reinventingthetattoo.com to get in touch. So thank you.
Comments don't always have to be negative, Kyle.
It can be positive.
Some people might just want to be like, hey, Kyle, your hair looks good today.
Can't even, well,
That's
you
not
can't
even
see it.
complaint. Can't.
Well,
Good job
yeah.
bringing us in, Kyle. It got real awkward once Ben and I took over, but you were doing great. You were doing great.
I tried. I
Real
did.
awkward. This is smooth as fuck.
Okay. Sure.
Some
So
bit.
today we've got a great episode lined up. We have a guest with us today, Andria. She has a fantastic bodysuit. She and I have been in some best overall female competitions together. So we'll probably get into how awkward that is being like, your birthday suit in front of strangers.
We know
Quickly
each other a little bit.
Yeah.
Quickly acquainted.
And then this past weekend, Kyle and I got to go to Resurrection Island that was going on down in Wheeling. So we got all kinds of footage from that.
All the goodies.
Yeah, just, general shenanigans. But it should be a good show.
It's always a good show.
Kyle and I are both working on getting better quality footage all at the same time.
Mhm.
So Kyle's learning how to work a camera. I'm learning how to work a camera.
To think 2 conventions ago, you showed me that I could take the little back part and flip it onto the camera.
Yeah. He's walking around with so they like the screen flips open and then it flips and then you flip it back. So you can then use that as the viewfinder, but he just had it like open and pivoted. So he's like looking over here where like the lens is here.
Making life.
Oh, when I realized this, I was like, come here.
Come here, G.
I gave it to him and he just dropped his head.
Blew my mind.
Oh no.
Funny little improvements.
Go take off.
But also, okay, so that was like a ding dong moment. But now look what Kyle's doing with our equipment. He's actually like utilizing the YOLO box the way it's supposed to be utilized. And we've got 2 pictures going on from one feed. Yeah. So that's like technology was there, but Kyle's brain's figuring out how to use it.
Good job, Kyle.
Yeah.
I'm working hard.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
Nice.
Thank you.
So like for every ding dong moment, there's a saving grace. Yeah.
So tell me about the convention. I didn't get to go. I wanted to go, but my flights got jammed up.
It was at the casino.
What?
So you know what I did?
Gambled?
No.
Oh, that should
Me.
have been better.
Other people did. I did not. I'm not a gambler. I honestly I didn't even walk through the floor. The convention was on the outside of it. We did.
Be pulling up stuff. Don't worry about it.
I
I was trying to pull up the video. I know. I'm sorry.
So worried about
had dinner with Chris Taylor and Captain and Maybell and
Nice.
Cervena and Lauren, and it was super good. I don't know. It was probably like the most I sat still the whole time we were there.
it. Did you tell Captain and Mabel we're going to be there for Halloween?
I forgot. Look, he was in rare form, first of all. Like I was so busy laughing
Right.
and like when Captain's in rare form, like he's funny all the time. But when
Right.
he's in rare form, he like he convinced the staff that he stole all the silverware. So they're like, did he really take the silverware? And then he's like walking back and forth like he's fuming mad, but he's just teasing Maybelle
Right.
and she's giggling along with it. And then all of a sudden we're in the steakhouse inside the casino, but there's like these windows facing out of the casino floor. And then there's like these big shutters that close. So he closes the shutters on. I walked by like 6 hours later, they're still shut.
Nobody else knew how to open them.
I don't know.
That's
But it was
They're always
a
a
great
riot.
time. Yeah,
They're
it was
always a
it was a
riot.
great time. They're hilarious, but they're really, really sweet people too. I
So
really
down to
enjoy
earth.
being around them when
So
I have
down
the
to
chance. Like it's one thing hanging out when they're like in performance mode and doing the things, but it's another to like chill
have people.
chill in the downtime. Jordan just walked
Hi,
through and
Jacob.
saluted us.
What up? What up?
Oh, I'm seeing you got the footage right behind us.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let it play on the TV there. in the
I feel
background.
like we got a little bit of a glare going on, but it's okay. I think it looks better if we screen share it.
Yeah, we'll screen share it up.
Yeah.
The hell, Kyle.
Well, it is, we're live. We're deciding as we go, but I do think it looks better if we screen share it. Look, he didn't put my driver's license right there.
Well, you finally put it in a folder.
Improvements.
Yeah, that was the right thing to do.
So how was the show? I mean, like, yeah, cool location. Got to eat food, but I mean,
Oh, you asked about food first.
you
So-
said you know what I did. I said food.
Yeah, so there was definitely food. It was very good.
Yeah.
Not as expensive as I thought it was going to be. It was like half as much as like casino steakhouses usually are.
Yeah, you scared
a
me off from
delightful
joining. You told
surprise.
me it's gonna be an expensive meal, and I'm like, cool. See you later.
Have fun.
Well, Kyle was also all proud that he like meal prepped and bought wraps or brought wraps so we wouldn't have to buy a bunch of food and stuff.
And I
it's
ate
like,
half of those when I got home.
That's
At least
generally
you
how
were
that
prepared, though.
goes.
There were a couple of photo shoots. We got to play around in this really cool old cemetery. It was real dilapidated. Like I was kind of disappointed that some of the headstones were in the condition that they were in,
Right.
but it was like on top of a mountain and we have just gotten through a pandemic and maybe they just haven't caught up on their cemetery repair. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. And then right across from the cemetery was this crazy castle thing that was like some kind of overlook. So it like overlooked the river and then the island where the casino was on between Ohio and West Virginia.
All right.
But it was just literally covered in graffiti everywhere. It was just spray paint beautifully, like
Oh, okay.
deliberately. Like this
Okay.
was a thing that they encouraged. It was a thing. Like
Huh.
it was like, come here to take pictures. And while we're there taking pictures of like Marissa, the girl that was having photos taken, she had like blood and like zombie kind of makeup on and like, and then up walks this whole group of people for like homecoming photos.
That's a nice
So-
mix. That's a nice mix.
Oh, we got Jason Leeser. He was we got to watch Chris Taylor setting up last week and Jason was in the booth right next to Chris.
Speaking of Chris, there's a setup there.
Mm-hmm.
His tattoo history
Mm-hmm.
case.
I've got one of those Fowler machines, that brass G machine down there.
Nice.
I should take a look. They were dancing.
Oh shoot.
Way to go, Kyle.
Oh shoot.
There was a lot of silly dancing going on.
That's how you
We
know you're
had
having a
fun.
good time.
Oh, this is the castle I was
It,
talking
it was a
about.
very silly weekend, that's for sure.
Nice.
Isn't this place cool? Lauren found this stuff way ahead of time. So like we went and scouted it out the night before and then the day that photos and stuff happened, they were just such cool locations and like right across the street from one another.
That's my favorite kind of graffiti, just random profanity.
I got a story that I put on my Instagram where it was just like eat ass and then zoomed out to the whole beautiful nature scene that was surrounding it.
There was this,
I'm mad I missed it.
I can't remember what it said now, but it was something filthy. But there was this huge heart that had been painted, and then the words that were in it. I saw this mom like squaring her daughter up. It's like, excuse me, yeah, you might want to read that first. And she's like, what? And I was like, the wall. You might want to read it.
was like
And
skate
she like
fast, eat
stopped.
ass.
Yeah, and she stops and looks at it and she was like, "Oh, let's find somewhere else for you to pose."
That heart is cool, but
So Kyle's learned how to use the video camera.
is that what we're calling this?
Yeah.
Oh,
This
this
is
isn't
Kyle's
dizziness
footage.
making me want to puke. That's not what that is.
Thanks, Ben.
That's how I
Appreciate
feel
you.
on the inside.
I just loaded everything up.
Kyle, you've gotten so many shots of my butt already. What's going on?
I'm not trying to.
I don't
I
believe
guess
that's
it's
true
just
for
in,
half a
in the
second.
frame more than it should be.
Fawn, maybe, put that thing away.
I got the donk.
The
Sometimes it's got a mind of its own. I can't help it.
I mean, I also understand that, Corey. Is that the right word? That's not the right word. You know that though.
Dilemma?
Yeah, sure.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Here you go. I skipped
Yeah.
ahead a little bit.
What the hell? No. Man,
Oh,
guys.
now we're on footage that I was taking.
Yeah.
Oh,
Had a live
man.
band that played.
These guys, what were they? Never wait.
Wait.
They were pretty good.
always asleep.
That's Dennis. He's the show promoter there. Don't know if you can tell in that video, but he's wearing a Hell City shirt. I thought that was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
There's Kyle dancing.
Is that what we're calling
Is
this?
that what we're calling it? Dude, they were going hard. I don't know what to tell you.
Kyle got into a mosh pit. I will get to here in a moment if we keep watching. Look, does the singer or does he not look like Joe Benitez with long hair?
Tell me about here.
Joe Benitez has long hair.
Does that not look like
Longer
him
hair.
though?
That could be Joe.
In a couple
That's
years?
Yeah, Joe plus like 6 years.
Joe, a little less Mexican, maybe.
Oh, see, look at Kyle down there.
oh,
Look at the
no.
intern throwing bows.
Throwing bows, barely touching each other. Hi guys.
Dude, you realize that space is all of like 4 people wide.
Are you ready to soft mosh?
It was a very tight space.
And look at Jason nerding out on the history. I really love how Chris's booth looks with all the lights and stuff that he draped everywhere. I never thought about doing that, but it really does look cool.
Well, that's what makes
He
Chris
was telling me that
cool.
was like one of the best investments he's made for his booth too, is just getting those lights.
Makes people slow down and actually look at what you're lighting up.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
Get some sound on this.
You'll have to give me a moment for that.
Jesus, Kyle.
Well, I have
They
to
were
like
pretty good.
restart and press like a whole new button.
You couldn't just hit the speaker.
I have to like do it in the Zoom.
Oh, okay. So it's not too
No.
overpowering.
Oddly, they sound exactly like I thought they would. Like exactly.
When this guy so 2 patterns, and that was it.
Now,
Those of you
Kyle,
that
I
don't know what
even
Kyle's
have
talking
one.
about. I mean, they pretty much could have been Creed.
They had an at the gates core moment too.
Awesome.
Yeah. Great.
I hear it now. Hey, Kyle,
Hey Ben.
go ahead and click that speaker again.
What, louder?
No, thanks, Bubby.
Oh, sorry.
Just thought you
Where
guys
was that
might
at?
enjoy it.
No, they weren't wretched. Just it's a lot going on in my brain, and you can't really hear them. You know what I mean?
You had to have been there for the set. Their set was like an hour and a half too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
I thought they did
Wow.
great though.
Hi guys, we're
There's
gonna
Wit.
incorporate in some soft jazz in between songs just to fill in some time.
I love the way Jason goes from looking like super professional to like, all right, I'm ready to saw your leg off.
Dude, he gets flipped in. That thing's pretty cool though.
I know a couple of people that wear the aprons like that.
You know, if I wore an apron like that, I probably wouldn't have paint stains on all of my clothes and ink stains on
And that's
all
why
of
he
my
wears it.
clothes.
I like clips around the legs too.
For independent leg motion.
The mobile convention setup, getting set up.
Wow, Kyle, those are some fucking descriptive words.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. Well, that's what I'm known for, you know.
Dollar bill. Yeah.
Chris is explaining who and where these machines came from. If we, that's a Bob Shaw. Can you get the sound back on this? Is it a simple click now?
It is.
Bob Shaw collection. I got Bob Senior,
Want me to start it over too?
and Benny.
Sure.
Some stuff from all upside.
He's dropping a little bit of history on us.
Let's get a history.
Yeah, he's still Bob Shaw engraved. So just got that piece. I'm pretty stoked about it.
Ma'am.
Look at that.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked because I actually have Bob Shaw's actual portfolio too. So I'm really stoked to have a good Bob Shaw collection. I got Bob Senior, Junior, and Benny. Some stuff from all up. So I just bought some flash for Benny. Got 3 generations of the Shaw family history.
Can't imagine actually tattooing with a teeny tiny little itty bitty grip like that.
Little pencil grip.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Kill your hand.
OG dudes loved them though.
Oh, he's got, this is the Spalding machine.
Which is real hard to come across. He found this at a flea market for $40.
Oh man.
Yeah. He sent me a picture. He's like, this was 40.
Good job, Kyle.
Thanks. That's fawn footage. I don't know what you're telling me about.
Jesus. I can't start ridiculing you though.
You can ridicule me.
Not like that. Oh goodness.
Suspension.
Thanks for the warning.
You saw the whole rig up there. What did you think was gonna happen?
Yeah, I've literally set that rig up myself. Literally moves. Man.
Are we gonna see you on the suspension soon, Ben?
Never. It is not my jam, homie. I've seen it enough. I get it. I understand people love it. I'm glad it's for them. It is not for me.
No, it's rough. I would never do it.
Matter of fact, during the suspension set for Hell City this year is when I chose to take my break.
You get a little woozy watching it.
No, just I'm good.
I do. I
It's just-
do.
it's just
I
not my
like
jam.
hyper focus on it too much, and it's like, I just.
You could tell one of the girls were doing it was new at it too, and you could like see it on her face, and it was like, oh, I just felt that.
I think neither one of them suspended for very long. Sometimes they go up and they just stay up for minutes.
Right. Yeah, it's just not my jam. I mean, in Columbus, we always had the limousine pool and the tug of war that happened during the parade and things
Should
like
I
that.
ruin the
So,
surprise, Kyle?
Do you
Or-
want to? I don't know. Is it ruining the surprise, or is it adding a thematic touch to it?
I just feel like I'm so excited. You
This
can go
tattoo
ahead and
was
ruin the
special.
surprise.
This was Sunday's best of day, black and gray tattoo
We should
right
we
here.
should actually edit all of our footage of these moments together for her and shoot it to her on Instagram.
That'd be a good
or,
idea.
Facebook. That'd be a cool thing.
oh,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
guys are
we
fucking
captured some
sweethearts.
special moments. So, the application of the tiny perfect stencil.
Do you want to explain who this is by and what she's doing?
I pan out in a second. We'll get all of her information. But this was Elaine, right?
Yes.
Elaine, and she was sharing a booth with Jason. And then the girl she's working on happens to be who Lauren was doing the photo shoot with. So like we all like just accidentally and by happenstance, we're all kind of hanging out in close proximity of each other all weekend. And as we're like standing around and we're like taking our farewell shot of the weekend, they're announcing tattoo of the day in black and gray, and they were doing the judging with the like card system.
Uh-huh.
And
Seems everyone does now.
it seems more fair and more like transparent because you can see what's going on in real time. You
Seems
know,
faster.
it is much faster. And I think it's even a better way to interact, like the collectors could interact with one another more. But anyways, while we were standing there at the end of the night, we realized that she's about to at least have a piece place in the top 3 for tattoo of the day in black and gray. And then as it turns out, she won. And we were standing there taking video, so we got it on footage. And she called her mom right away, and it was super touching. It was like the first time. It was the first time I think that she had won an award, but to win an award of that like caliber with that many other good artists there at the show. But the other cool thing about a piece that size winning tattoo of the day is it proves that it really is about. Like there was a chest piece was in the running, and I can't right now remember the other. I've smoked a lot of weed since then.
Yeah.
But like they were really well done large tattoos, but the small one was just flawless. You know what I mean? It didn't matter that it was smaller. It was just more well done, and it deserved to win what it won.
Oh,
So
super cool.
It's the end of the competitions there. Let's pull up some of these.
Good job, Kyle. That looks
gnarly.
yeah.
Mhm.
Look at them eyeballs.
That's pretty cool. Is that a crocodile?
It's a Sasquatch and a crocodile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, so Wicked Fast was like took up a whole like
Whole
row.
wall.
Yeah, like a whole wall of
Hell
these
yeah.
was, like Jeremy Brown was there, Amber Joy, Havoc. I always talk to him whenever I
love
see him. Antoine.
You say I saw Antoine. But he tattoos with another group as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he
Solid.
would just live on the road. I don't know.
Oh, there's not a convention you don't see Antoine out. I love that guy. I've met her a handful of times too.
Yeah, a lot of the collectors and tattooers are pretty familiar from Hell City. It's kind of cool. Like you see that shows are kind of like regional and like they're sort of circuits within the tattoo community. Like certain groups of collectors attend a lot of the same shows. It's cool to like.
Here was also, sorry to cut in, the competition for black and gray best of day.
Yep, there's Marissa. Let's see if we can get in on that little tiny pumpkin. You see it? Nice theme music, Ben. Nicely done.
Thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Felt like there was a little dead air there.
We're looking
Well-
at tattoos.
I get it.
But we are on like the podcast platform.
Yeah, like
we got to be
sometimes
making
listen.
noise. We got to be
For all the audio listeners out there.
clicking
Sorry,
and
Kyle
popping.
let you down. Sorry, Kyle let you down, guys.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not good enough.
I didn't say you weren't good enough. That's never, ever, ever what I said.
I don't think Marissa knows I'm creeping on her at all.
Keep it.
But like aside from the little one that Elaine did, look at her, like the bird on her noggin. She's got a lot of really nice tattoos. I got to talk to Marissa and see if she'll join us sometime and talk about her collection as well.
Chris Taylor packing up.
Yeah.
One.
I think this clip pretty much sums up the weekend was.
A banana and a foot. Why? And that was Resurrection Island.
Yeah, pretty much.
Foot banana.
Oh, I think are we back on Kyle's footage? Look at how excited she is. Aw. We should bounce the sound back on.
Yeah, Kyle.
Second place, what is your name? Jake. Who did your tattoo? Damian Zarmak, come on up.
I'd also like to say the convention was great, but man, did I hear the same royalty-free rock song all weekend long.
This one?
Yep. It was played a lot.
Well,
And then the MC said, I never played a song twice this weekend.
It's not a song.
It's a song.
He said, no.
It's a song.
All right. All right, first place, one of our resurrection dolls, Marissa. Marissa, who did your tattoo? Elaine Noworski, come on down. The tattoo of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you what.
I think we were the loudest
it's one of
booth.
the coolest ones I've seen.
I think we may have been. We might have been the obnoxious booth that everybody complained about. I mean, we
I'm
weren't
okay
even
with
in a
that.
booth. We just kind of like hung out in Chris's.
We only like hoot and hollered a couple times anyways. I'm fine with that.
It's crazy. I didn't notice it the first time I looked at it. They pointed it out, so great work right there.
Kind of MC says that about an award-winning tattoo. Like I didn't even notice it.
You got a bunch, so I
Dude,
kind of overlooked.
Dude, that
We
guy
need to start
he said I
emceeing
had one
shows.
tattoo.
Yeah.
He kept that a secret all weekend.
That
That
He's
was
like
his
he's like
secret?
that's why I'm wearing long sleeves and jeans, man. He said he normally does like country shows.
We need to start emceeing these things.
I will throw my hat in that ring.
The idea is evolving.
Just wait for Indy.
Yep.
You're gonna make our debut,
I think maybe we should. We should talk to Chris about it. Be like, hey,
Chris. This is what I need.
an avocado, an ice pick, and a snorkel.
And also a stage.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm in. Ooh, look at that Slipknot.
There were a couple Slipknot tattoos.
Big fan.
They were all really good.
Big fan.
You got one of this too?
Banana.
You can see where my mind was for the transitions had I have edited this together.
Oh man.
God dang banana foot.
Yeah. I had a lot of good ideas.
Did you?
And did
Did you, Kyle?
I did.
I noticed that was past tense. You had.
Well, I mean that's why we're just kind of flicking through clips right now instead
There
of
you
like
flicking.
watching one video. Life happens.
Kyle, I need you to be on this stuff even more.
Jesus.
Playing
God.
catch up
Granted,
all
I
week
was
just for
like-
taking the weekend off.
I was just gonna say I was lazy all week, except yesterday. I kind of made up for it yesterday. I was here till super late. I don't think I fell asleep till 4:30.
Yeah, I was halfway through my night of sleep at that point.
Yeah, I was just getting started. Just getting started.
Shit, I got up in 2 hours. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's where I'm like, man, why is it daylight already?
Yeah.
Just fell asleep.
I did the whole woke up 5 minutes before my alarm went off thing and like got up, used the restroom.
A
thinking
lot
it
of
was
this
the middle
is
of
just
the night.
kind of footage I grabbed for Marissa, so we can
And-
probably
yeah.
be done.
Then
Yeah, I think we're at the end of it as well.
did the whole like laid down, got all comfy, right back in bed, let my eyes just drift back asleep. My alarm went off, and it made me want to murder the world.
Murder the whole world.
Yeah, I pretty much didn't want it today. After that,
Well, I've had those days. Today wasn't one of them, but I have had those days.
and then the bottom dropped down.
And I've seen better days. I've been star of many plays. Kyle, do you know that song?
I do not.
And then the bottom dropped down. That's because Kyle's fucking 12.
13. When will I be considered old enough in your eyes?
When you know the same song as us.
Never.
It's what we keep trying to tell you.
The
We're
Gap?
telling you the movies to watch to close the gap. You
Does he
don't
do it?
watch them. We
No.
tell you the music to listen to close the gap. You don't listen to it.
I started a
So
list.
you're always gonna be a baby until you get our inside jokes. That's just how it is.
I've started a movie list.
Do you remember that one time?
But how many have you watched?
None.
See,
But I have the list.
Kyle, have you watched Point Break yet?
No. But
Okay.
it's on the list.
I'm not going to be your friend until you watch that movie.
once you watch some of these movies,
Friendship revoked.
you'll jump into like unprovoked song with us as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, we just want you to catch up, Kyle.
Jesus. Be a better person.
Life's busy. I'm trying.
That's all we ask. Just be a better person. No one.
That's what I strive for every day.
So let's talk tatties.
Tatty. See, I need a court. All these connections are war.
Well, it was tatty time.
Well,
Well, I'll talk because Fawn can't. She broke her microphone.
I didn't mean to, guys.
It's okay. We still.
It's all right. Okay, there.
So we have a very special collector with us this evening. She's competed with Fawn several times, is what I'm hearing.
We've been mostly naked in public together.
We
Okay.
have.
Okay. And what does the majority of your collection?
What's that?
What is the majority of your collection? Do you favor one theme? Do you have like
Oh, okay.
more of one style than another? Or
Mostly, well, one leg is American traditional, and then the rest is Polynesian, and then sacred geometry.
nice.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Nice.
mostly black and gray,
Oh,
and
thanks,
then
Kyle.
Yeah.
one colored leg.
Nice.
Yeah.
I dig the American traditional though. That's
And one of the
Me
cool things
too.
about Andria's collection is everything by the same artist or most of it.
Everything.
Nice.
nice.
The old stuff I had lasered off, so started over.
Change the picture, Kyle.
I'm getting to that, man. Could you be
Picture.
any pickier today?
I might be. Oh, I love that stomach piece.
Thank you.
I like when Polynesian is more tattoo than negative space because like
Yeah.
traditional Polynesian is super packed on top of each other, but the negative space is what makes those amazing crisp lines. So it's cool to see it done that proficiently. That's really, really well done.
The cool thing about Andria, like for me, is like we've competed together in like geometric and all around female. But I've also like judged her work as well.
Right.
And it like I just love seeing collectors that like take as much pride as I do. Like when you just like aside
That's
from it
really
being a
well done.
competition, I just love somebody that's like
Yeah.
equally as passionate and just wants like quality, bold work
Right.
that is actually
Yeah.
worth sharing with other people. And then you
Yeah.
actually share it with other people.
Wow.
Well, I think that's how I met you, as I was obsessing over your back piece. I'm like,
Nice.
oh, I love your back piece. Very geometric also.
Conceptually,
so-
yours is very similar. It's very
Yeah,
all
yeah.
encompassing, very
Mhm.
eye tricking, very flow. Like it's
Yeah.
very, very well done.
It's one of the things where
Who's your
like,
artist?
It's Loaf.
Love. That makes sense.
And like my back piece has a bunch of cover ups in it too, so it's kind of having to work around all that.
I just love seeing like here's the thing that I think about when like I'm in a position to judge is like how do you even compare like my back piece with her back piece when they're so similar but so different? Like how do you compare them?
Right.
They're different.
Well,
You
at
know,
some
both
point,
are graphic, both are eye catching.
when they're so form fitting correctly and shaped correctly and design is on point and all of that, you really have to go to the actual technical application of the tattoo. If you can't find a design flaw and you can't find an error in form and flow, you got to go to who has the better placed tattoo.
sometimes I've been a judge and I'm like, I don't even want to make this decision. And then Derb will be like, tiebreaker, where's Fawn? And I'll be like, oh,
Oh
I
no.
was just saying I was glad I wasn't judging.
And yet,
And then tiebreaker.
all
It's
the
okay
judging.
though. Then I got to come up with something like, what is like, if I had to say one was better than the other, what would be the thing that I would say?
Yeah, that's so hard. I would not want
I
to
would
be in
just
that position.
challenge it. Right. I would just make them arm
Like,
wrestle.
no.
Hey, who-
Rock,
There you
paper,
go.
scissors for it.
No, feed of physical strength. Okay.
Okay.
I don't want this to be luck. Come prepared.
Strategy.
Come
not
prepared
luck.
is what I'm saying.
Sometimes for
bicep
me, like
curls.
the deciding factor might be which one I think is going to look better in 5 years. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
Fair.
knowing what I know about tattoos.
You mean
like
you
which
just don't
one's
give it
gonna-
to the person that you think is cooler?
No,
Oh,
no.
or like the artist buddy that you know that did that tattoo?
So sometimes when I am judging, like let's say I've already given 2 of my 3 cards out. There are people that already have like 4 and 5 cards, and there's just a tattoo that I think is good and should be showcased for a moment longer. I might just give that person a card so that they know they're the runner up, like in my opinion. Like, you know what I mean? Like I know
I
based on the
do.
other votes, it's already like one of these people are definitely going to win, but like this needs an extra photo taken of it or extra acknowledgement
You're
or
the
like,
sweetest.
well, it makes people feel good too, I think. But to know that like,
That's what makes you the sweetest.
Oh.
Jesus.
thanks, Phil.
It's nice to
Aw.
see one extra tattoo up there instead of the same 4.
That's very, very true. It's very.
But like, and it's not even that I disagree that the other ones are good, but it'll be like, well, that one's got 5, that one's got 4, that one's got 3. Those are
And you're gonna have
definitely
to-
1, 2, and 3.
You're gonna
So
have to
like,
break the tie anyway if there is one.
you know what's funny is you know how like matter of fact I am when people will ask me a question afterwards. They'll be like, well, why'd you pick this over that? And I'll be like, did you see it?
Clearly, we were
Yeah.
not looking at the same tattoos.
By side,
Oh.
like I can get specific, but like, did you see it?
Are you going to understand the finite details I'm about to talk about?
Well, and I mean
No.
it too, though,
Oh.
because sometimes I've had somebody come up and ask why I made this decision or why I chose this over that when I was put in a tiebreaker situation. And I was like, did you see the one that won though? And they're like, no. You should look at it before you ask,
Do you know how to make a comparison?
because
You have to look at 2 things.
Wait, is that how it works?
What?
Oh,
I know English is tricky. Let me start over.
it's only my first language.
Comparison.
before we were live, we were talking about a show that you went to recently, the Flint show.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you get into the competitions there?
I did. I did overall, and then I did. They had all the sleeves divided by female and male, which was weird.
Sometimes
So-
I'm okay with that. Sometimes I'm not. It just depends. It was a smaller show though, so it probably just made the awards take forever, didn't it?
Right, exactly. So
Were there
did
enough
back
people in
piece.
all the categories, or was it just like 3 and 4 people in some of them?
There was a ton in unusual tattoo,
I feel.
Which
Look, hold on. I gotta just pause
which I
for a
don't know what
second, and this is-
unusual is.
I just want to know, like, the unusual category used to be about like weird and unusual and never seen before things or something like off the wall. Where like now, and
It's just
excuse me
weird
for saying
placement.
this, I just feel like it's whoever is like ballsy enough to get their butthole tattooed. They just feel like this is their chance to show it off.
Here's my gig.
Am I wrong?
I've
Am I
seen
wrong?
enough
I-
butthole tattoos.
I don't even know what it is. It's so weird
And
to
like
me.
every time someone comes up on stage and I don't see their unusual tattoo and they're in like a mini skirt, I'm like, we're about to see your butthole. Because it's become so commonplace that the shock
Oh,
and awe
man.
is now gone.
So I'm not going to say I'm allowed, but I'm sure you make the same assumptions and deductions about the kind of people that would put tattoos in those places, right?
I'd tattoo the fuck out of my butthole
Right now.
right,
Right now, next week.
Fawn, if you're like,
Oh,
Ben,
no.
we're doing this. I'm just saying the IRA would look sweet there. She's back.
Do you know how?
Did you see that?
No, not. Do you know how bad that's gotta hurt?
I am totally
my
joking.
tattoo
There's no
comes
way
like
about that.
in like rounds the cheekies, but it doesn't go into the business. It just
Nah.
kind of looks like it does. And I can't
She kind of drips off
I
there.
can't
You gotta
I
stay
can't
out
wrap
the
my head around
business.
it. I can't even wrap my head around like voluntarily sitting for worse than I went through.
Okay.
I can't wrap my
Okay.
head around it.
There are certain types of people. Let me try to say this correctly so I don't sound like an idiot. Whose pain threshold is their bragging right and their pleasure.
I hear
Right.
you.
So if you take that in a non-sexual way, sadomasochism is finding pleasure from pain.
Mm-mm.
And if somebody enjoys, and I mean thoroughly enjoys, being taken to those levels and thresholds to break through as a person, and they find enjoyment out of it, man, high five to you.
Not this one. Nope.
But that's the same
Nope.
as, in my mind, some of the more extreme body modifications, some of the more extreme suspensions.
Sometimes I
Some of
do
the
want to
more
ask, like,
extreme-
what are you chasing?
Because at some
What
point,
demons are you hiding?
Yeah,
Well-
like what really troubles you?
at what point where you're like, well, fuck it, might as well cut off my nose and ears and splice my eyelids open and then like implant horns all the way down my skull, because you reached a point where you're so far gone it doesn't matter. Does that make sense? I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that and this dude already had his whole fucking face tattooed solid black. What difference does it make now that he's got horns? Now what difference does it make that we've cropped his ears and cut off his nose and split his lips and tongue?
You're reminding me of the old days of BMEzine.com. Body modification ezine.com. And
So,
they had all kinds of crazy stuff on there that I'd never seen in my entire life. Things I'd never heard of.
pirate
And I
medicine.
just like sit. This is the
Parrot
face I would make. Hold on. I want to share this with everybody. This, as I was scrolling, we're going to pretend that I'm looking into the laptop.
Look into the light. What?
That's the look.
What?
And like the further I
Wow.
would scroll, the more I'd realize my face would get more contorted. Like,
Even no body parts did that.
and then I'd get so far along and I'd be like, I don't know what body part I'm looking at.
That's my favorite thing about a really good tattoo photo in my mind is when all you can see is the tattoo. If I have to guess what body part it's on, you've done the photo correctly.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that is not applicable to some things, but I cannot stand when they've got the super panned out shot of the chick sitting there and we'll say no pants on in a bikini bottom to show the hip tattoo.
Oh,
Oh, where
I-
you mean photos where you mean you shouldn't, you mean it should be no concern of yours whether they shaved that day or not?
It should be no concern of anyone's what placement of that tattoo on someone's body is other than the tattoo.
I'm with
That's
it.
what I was gonna
So,
tell Derb to do a tattooer with the sign one of that.
Just,
A
how would you word it?
tattoo.
Because I'll text it
I
to
don't
him
know.
right
It's
now.
really long, but make it make
Stop
sense.
showing too much skin when the tattoo was tiny.
Because there's specific people, that do that.
Just photograph the tattoo.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you don't have to. Okay, I'm
Like
I'm
when
a-
you're using it's one thing if you want to do it yourself, but not when you do it to your clients. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that.
I would like to call myself a sexually open person. I would like to think that I am more open-minded than most, but I feel that not everything in this goddamn world has to be so sexually motivated.
You know,
Right. There's
I try to be very modest when I photograph my clients.
But there's some people that will take that photo from across the room, and it's like, are you selling? Wrong word.
no, they're doing video and doing I can't even.
Panning to places that don't need to be panned
Yeah.
to. And it's
Yeah.
like the tattoo isn't there. Why am I seeing that? Now,
That's how this is. You know what I'm going to do next week when Corey's working on you? I'm going
cover
to
me.
Get up all on your
No,
business.
Give me a
no, I'm
modesty
gonna-
blanket.
no, you better be posed.
You're
This
on
is going to
full
be
display,
like
baby.
romance shoot number 2.
I don't even think I've told Corey we're doing this live.
That's okay.
Corey, you're gonna tattoo me on this show next week. Excuse me. I don't know. Like, if I want to see a chick in a bikini, there's a million places I can do that. It's the motherfucking internet. If I want to see a tattoo,
Right.
I want to see a tattoo. So if I come to your page to see a tattoo, the fuck am I seeing a chick in a bikini for?
So, but hold on a second.
I like chicks in bikinis.
But
Let's be here.
all
Let's be
I
real.
do,
But
hypothetically, all I do are tiny little 1-line lavender sprigs on the inside of the hip. I can't even show that without showing off the entire body. I need to make sure I get the whole shape of the human body so you can understand the
shit.
gracefulness of
Well, when
this
you put it like that, I
Oh.
understand it a lot better.
Yeah, like you got to understand
Yeah.
the placement on the whole body
Bullshit.
of this
The-
2-inch tattoo.
The direction of that line works perfectly with the curvature of the entire body, and it lines up the chakras.
Kyle, I'm gonna turn lines up the chakras. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm lying. That is, I don't do that
sarcasm.
at all.
Now,
It's thick.
if it
thick
is the
sarcasm.
collector's choice to be like, bro, I bought this badass bikini, we're fucking flaunting it. I'm gonna high five you, tell you to work your thing. I'm happy and proud of you. You do you, boo boo. That seems like a choice.
Yeah.
But when the
That's how I
artist is
feel.
like, let me look at this hand-sized tattoo from across the room, because you have no choice other than to be scantily clad at this moment, you can fuck right off.
Let's rewind. Let's rewind this a little bit. Okay, so let's go earlier into the session where we've got the same kind of person that would post pictures like that, and they're like, "Yeah, sweetie, hop on up here and take your pants off." I wanted this on my wrist.
No, you didn't.
I saw a
You know, the
Oh.
gratuitous, like, I need you to be more nude than I really need you to be kind of
Yeah.
tattooers.
yeah, I was looking at one of the old-timey photos from an old tattoo shop that happened to be on like what's the ones that aren't the videos, Kyle? What are those called? The pictures with the
Pictures.
words that people laugh at on the internet?
Memes?
Memes. There. That's the word. So I was looking at this meme, and it was an old school, like black and white photo. Guy definitely using like a busted pen tattoo machine from like the 50s, you know. And it's a young lady getting a tattoo on her arm and her bra and panties. And
Well,
it was just kind of like, oh, just exactly like you're saying. Go ahead and remove your whole dress. We'll tattoo your arm.
I don't like it. Now,
Mm,
I'm not gonna lie. Some of my clients and I are so comfortable with one another that like they'll just completely disrobe. And like when Russ was working on me, I just like, you know, I kind of prepared myself that I was going to be nude, but more in like a clinical nude
Right,
rather than
right.
being an ogled at nude
I have to remember that we're here sometimes.
with
I have
me
to
and
make,
you.
yeah, like I have to make a conscious effort to be like, dude, tuck up. Because like you and I are that comfortable. That doesn't mean Cam next door is that comfortable. It doesn't mean J Doggy across the hallway is that comfortable.
That's
And
fair.
you wander into whoa. I get it.
Nice to see you, Ben.
Nice to see you. Oh, you Ben. So like that's why I have a homie only policy for being tattooed. Like,
You know, I do have that talk with some of my clients, like especially when we're tattooing in an area where like modesty is in question, or we do have to remove clothes, or like sometimes it's like, yeah, you can wear shorts and we can push them around, but like
bring a
if
blanket.
you can, yeah,
Just bring a blanket.
if we can just cover you when you stand up and need to move around and just make that part of you nude for the sake of working, like, you know, it's one of those things where like it is incredibly uncomfortable and vulnerable to be nude or close to nude anywhere outside of your own home.
Jordan had me walking through the shop shirtless to show off the ribs, and I was like, okay.
You're like, my coworkers have all seen my nipples now.
It's weird now.
Yeah, you get over that real fast, especially with this group. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, it's not.
Go to one Hell City, Phoenix. You've seen everybody 3/4 of the way nude.
I've never looked
Intentionally.
at
nude.
That
anybody I
is how
worked
it
for.
Hell City is, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, more of like staff wise. I didn't mean that like as the
Oh,
whole
staff
thing.
wise.
We all room together. We share 2 rooms,
Oh.
so like there's a lot of community, lots of
Yep.
community together.
As a
I
competitor,
feel like every
it's
time I'm
also like
planning,
that.
Say that again, please.
I said as a competitor, it's also like that.
Yeah,
Just everyone's out there.
I remember going. You want me to take off what? I remember being so nervous on stage, I forgot to show tattoos because I wasn't planning on competing when Fawn made me do overall.
oh, in Cincinnati.
Yeah, fuck you. So we're standing there, and she's like, "Nah, Ben, like you're doing this," and I'm like, "Ugh." She's like, "No, you're doing it." So like, I'd already been judged and down and through the line. Was like, "Oh shit." I didn't show this tattoo, that tattoo, this tattoo, that tattoo, because I was too nervous about standing in my underwear on stage.
Get the nervous sweats where you
No.
just smell like an onion.
No, I was just afraid I was making everybody else look bad. And then my conscience kicked in, and I was like, these poor ugly people.
Fine. I need a button or something.
That's a
Signal
joke.
you
I was
guys.
totally self-conscious.
I was trying to find, here it is. I'm going to send this to Kyle to share. This is at said show. Ben
And
holding his arm full of
I
trophies.
still have those trophies for Kevin, and I'm sorry, Kevin.
What the fuck, man?
It's only been like fucking 2 years now.
I finally had Jess mail mine out to Russ and Adam. Look at how tiny Ben looks.
You look tiny.
It's all about the angles.
It's somebody, you're on the stage, aren't you?
No, I just took the picture from as high up as I could reach.
So it made my belly look so small. Oh,
See, look how tiny he looks. He's a little baby, a little baby man. He looks like he's 12.
I did win some awards that show.
I did too.
We left with a fucking trunk of hardware. Yep, they're still sitting in my closet. Sorry, Kev Dog. I'll bring you them.
One day.
One
Is
day.
That's Villain Art, Cincinnati.
Yep.
Cincinnati. Oh, okay. I never went to that one for some reason.
It was a pretty good show. We drove
yeah.
over, like, not, I mean, I've
was a
been to
decent
Villain
show.
Art shows, but
I went to the
pretty good show.
Chicago one, but not the Cincinnati.
I love Villain Art shows. You know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Have you
They're very well
been to
produced.
the Chicago one? It's insane.
No, I have not been to Chicago.
It is
Uh-oh.
huge.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
The
something
way you
crazy
chuckled,
about
I was
it.
like, oh, tell me more.
Well, the contests take about 3 hours.
Oh, jeezy.
It's the biggest show I've ever been to, probably. Like, as far as
Wow.
like how many booths they have, it's insane. It's
All
I
right.
can't even, like a football field full of booths.
Jesus.
Yeah.
They've got the formula down. Like they've got the
Oh, for
formula
sure.
down.
They
I love
they
what they do.
know how to get a lot of people in there. That's for sure.
It is kind of cool. I don't know if we were live yet or if this was when we were just chit chatting before we were live.
Right.
But when you're talking about a show you haven't been to and you know it's first or second year, you're always a little bit
Mhm.
skeptic. Where
Yeah.
like the Villain
When you
Arts
know-
shows are such a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
care if
You
it's the
always
first
walk
show.
in, you're going to be greeted the same way.
Yeah.
You have the same kiosks that you can buy your tickets from. Like it is a well-oiled machine. There are pros and cons with that.
It
Like
is.
sometimes it does get a
Right.
little cookie cutter if you see shows that are in close communities.
Right.
But like to compare like one of the big Villain Art shows to the Cincinnati show, like even to go from like the Cleveland show to the
Right.
Cincinnati show, the Cleveland show just seems so much bigger, even though all the procedures are the same.
Right.
And then each show is curated a little bit differently too, and you know how people are arranged and where they're with. So the flow changes a little bit from show to show, but as far as like execution, it's
Yeah.
cookie cutter in all the best ways.
In the good
yeah,
ways.
you know what
Yeah.
to expect.
You know the main points are going to be made. Like
I don't know which way this is going.
when in doubt, skip Kyle.
Thanks, Ben. I love you too.
So Andrea,
Yes.
let's talk about your collection a little bit.
Okay.
You said you had some laser and stuff done. I've never had any laser removal.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, first, at one of those shows that hadn't been around a long time. I got all natural tattoo removal. So
What was that
don't
called?
recommend that. All natural tattoo.
Oh no, it was
Do you
actually called
want
all
me
natural. I
to
thought
say
you were-
no, do you want me to say the name? Because it's really bad.
No,
like
but
really
explain the
bad.
system to us.
Yeah, explain the
I'm
system.
trying
Don't
not-
say the name.
I try not to get sued. So
Well, we try to, if it's negative, we try to leave the names out just for the sake
Yeah.
of being classy. So
certainly. Yeah. So I was at a show in Indiana and they're like, oh yeah, we're doing this all natural tattoo removal. So I had that done on my back on this scorpion that I had. I still have scars to this day from it because
What style of removal was it?
it was tattooed into my skin in circles.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
You can Google it.
we've done
You
our
could
homework
Google
on
it.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
So-
I'm well aware of what that is.
Yeah. So
I was one of their technicians.
Oh, were you? So it ate.
Yeah, briefly.
It ate holes in my skin,
Hmm.
and I was left with scars. So then I went to a laser place and they were able to make the skin so it wasn't concave. So like
Mhm.
but I've had I've had it tattooed maybe 3 times and there's still circles. That's how bad the scarring was. So
Jeez,
Don't do
they
that.
went way too deep.
Yeah, that's what it
Yes.
sounds like. It
So when
sounds
you
like
way
the
say
too
scabs
all
were just too much.
natural, yeah, all natural.
Yeah.
You
Well,
might lose your
Acid
skin.
is natural.
Yeah, Ben and I
Oh,
actually,
I
when he,
didn't know that's what it was.
Well-
They put
I
acid
didn't
in there?
know.
Well,
It's-
I am
it's-
speculating with no knowledge of
Yeah.
what she's talking about.
so, okay, Ben and I jumped deep down the rabbit hole when he was doing this, and I like put my
Yeah.
chemistry brain on and was like, okay,
Yeah.
so it is this chemical. Now, where are they getting this chemical
Mhm.
from? And basically, it's
Exactly.
one of those, like, it's a citric acid that's been
Mhm.
extracted from mold,
And diluted.
just like the other citric acids that we use in our foods and stuff. And basically, in theory, I don't think it's a bad idea, but it's just so invasive on the body and it's
It's
causing
so
such a rough
invasive.
feel.
Well, the equipment wasn't designed with precision in mind. The depth of needle was never precise. Their equipment fluctuated a lot. It was on like a feed system that
Oh.
pumped through the machine, and so you couldn't control
Mhm.
other than on and off what was coming through the machine. The equipment was all manufactured through the
It was all proprietary.
proprietary. That was the word I was looking for. So like
That's
the
the word they
quality,
use, so you can't sue them.
right? I'm trying. Well, I have a very specific clause that says I'm not allowed to talk about them.
Really.
Like
Extra specific.
like very, very, very specific.
But
I'm
to
not
be
allowed to
fair,
talk about.
there isn't
it's
just one
frightening,
system
isn't
that
it?
does this.
There's
there's
several
there's
systems
a
that are
few
like
companies
this.
that do this. So
The one I happen to work for,
Did it have a
you-
number in
you
the
couldn't-
middle?
yeah, it did. You couldn't.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mhm.
You couldn't buy the equipment through anyone else. So the quality of the
No,
needles that
you
were
have to
coming
get it
through,
from them.
right? And the prices of what they had it marked at, which I
Yeah.
wasn't privileged to until after I was already a technician, was insane.
Yeah.
Insane. And it was one of those like, you expect me to charge how much to do what?
Yeah.
Nah, bruh. But I don't know where they got their needles from. I don't know where they got their things from. They were stale and clean and medical grade and this, that, and the other. But I don't know who made that cartridge tip. So it was very inconsistent results. One time
Yeah.
it would be super smooth and easy, and the next time you'd be like, I'm chewing the fuck out of this person.
mhm.
And
Yeah.
you'd have to change your machine out, right? You'd have to change your tips out. And that cost me $36. Whereas a tattoo setup is not nearly that expensive. So like
Yeah,
to
up to a
change
few
my
dollars per
needle, because it had a special little fucking line pump thing
Yeah.
to it to move the solution through it, was astronomical. And you didn't see your results of your work
No.
for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month. They're supposed to be sending you pictures, but you couldn't
Yeah.
see any of that shit. And then it was like, the damage is already done. There's no taking that back from there. I
No.
had a lot of successful, but people with a certain skin type, it would annihilate. Like you probably have a very soft skin, don't you?
I like the lotion.
See, so like,
Like
anybody that, and it probably, your circles are all probably misshaped. They're probably different depths. They're probably not the same pattern. Yeah, I dealt with all this shit. It got to the point where I was like, guys, this is not a sound business decision.
No. It's frightening. I mean, I was devastated when that happened because I was planning a back piece, and then I got set back because I had scarring. So it was, you know, to the point where I was like, oh my gosh, I'm disfigured. I have holes in my body, you know, that are concave, and your back is no longer flat. You can't go over it. It's scarred so bad.
A lot of that has to do with a lot of that had to do with the very specific technician that did that. Because it was a very specific depth. You weren't even supposed to go like to tattoo depth. You were supposed to go above tattoo depth, so it was a very light motion. And especially if they brought a tattooer in and they trained, that's mostly what they did, was they tried to train tattooers to do that. That's actually why they said we were going to be more successful, because we didn't have these bad habits that had to be curbed. And I'm like, wait a second, there's people that are worse at it. So if they opened that up too much, now that solution that they're putting in there isn't able to form the eschar that was supposed to be forming, to be able to collect the debris to remove it from the skin, to actually remove the tattoo away. So if you didn't do that correctly and you went too deep, now you're inserting that chemical into something that it isn't going to have that same style of scar or same style of a wound to be able to do that. And what you've done is you've ate through that tattoo with your actual needle and opened up a wound instead of an abrasion. So I'm sorry you got hacked up.
So this is why it's so important to be careful and not have to get tattoos removed if you can help it.
Well, and that's the thing. And you can't really, when someone tells you something is all natural, you think gentle is what I thought. And I thought, oh, this is a great solution. Well, not a great solution at all.
What's funny is
I had regular laser too, which that wasn't great either, but it didn't leave scarring.
Do you think since you've had both, and I mean, clearly you didn't have the best outcome, but what do you think the healing was like going from like the solution to the laser?
For the all natural stuff, it was really itchy and like scabby, and then literally like chunks would just come off. So it was a horrible healing process. Then with the laser, I was kind of like a crazy person and did from my shoulder to my wrist all at once.
Oh,
so
girl.
So we did shoulder to wrist just on this side, and then I had to go back and do the inside. And it was I didn't realize that laser would cause swelling. So it had swelled so bad. My arm, my hand, I didn't even have laser on my hand, but my hand was so large. It blistered really bad on the bottom part. So I don't know if the laser was too high for the bottom part of my arm. So it was rough. And at that time I was getting my stomach tattooed. So I was getting laser and then doing my stomach. So it was,
I bet you just felt sick the whole time, didn't you?
Yeah, I was like, oh, I need a break.
Yeah,
it's putting your body
through it is.
It was, and I didn't really, I didn't expect the swelling like that. But I guess when you do that much at once, it causes a lot of trauma. And I mean, it worked great, but it was painful. It literally felt like my arm was on fire for a while. Like it took a while to feel better. So, I mean, if you're only doing like a tiny tattoo, I'm sure it's not that big of a deal. But when you get into
I want to get my thumb stabbed. I want to get a couple little ones done. But I don't know if it's like cost effective. I don't know if it's like, is it timed or is it like size of the tattoo?
It's the size of the tattoo.
Cool.
So
Because I didn't want to
like
go in and
in-
play like the minimum to get something little teeny tiny
right,
removed, and they're like, yeah, it's a $1,500 minimum, you know.
right. It's the size of the tattoo, and then I recommend the Pico Sure laser because that works like really, really good if it's black ink. If it's colored ink, it doesn't really move very much at all. So, and then depending
I
on
gather
it's
it's just as much of an art to remove tattoos as it
oh,
is
for
to put them
sure.
in.
Especially
And
with the picos, because setting the pico is
Yeah.
all about the spectrum of
yeah,
color.
they
So you have to
yeah.
set the machine to the
Mhm.
color of the ink.
Well, you've got to
So it's weird.
understand the chemistry behind the color to
Yeah.
understand, like to look at a color. Okay,
know what you're
more
talking
than
about.
likely, this is probably this mineral. So it means these particles are this size. So that means I want to use this wavelength to bust those particles down even smaller. So like
Science.
it's not just what color is it and what laser do you use, but it's what mineral was this color made out of, and then what is the
Right.
appropriate frequency for what I think that mineral in
Right.
that color might be.
The
So-
older ink it works really good on. I felt like the newer ink it didn't really do a lot to mine, but
Well, that says something
got-
about the quality of the newer inks. Then.
right, like the old stuff like that I got a very long time ago, it disappeared. So works great on that stuff.
Figured if it didn't work, I just cut my thumbs off.
Nice.
That's a good secondary.
Otter
I
paws.
mean,
Good, I guess.
one or two sessions they were usually good. I mean,
Say that again,
it
please. I'm
doesn't-
sorry. I was being obnoxious over top of you.
one or two sessions and it like works great, you know, like I don't know how much you want it off, but and like they try to sell you in the packages, you know, like just do a couple times, don't like sign up for the 10 package deal and get signed
I
up
got
for that
enough
stuff.
shit that could probably come off. I'd probably be gold on a package. They'd be like, so you just want to come back a bunch? I mean, some shit, that'd be cool.
It's awful though. I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Hmm. Is it
Not
better than shitty tattoos?
I mean, I'm happy that I
I
have a
thought your
new
tattoos
arm
were
sleeve.
shitty. I didn't mean that in a derogatory
Well,
way.
I mean, they weren't cohesive. So it was like the last part of my bodysuit was like redoing that arm, you know. It was like, oh, if you're gonna leave it, then that kind of is a bummer. So it was worth getting it done. I'm glad it's over. I'll never do it again. Ever.
Is your bodysuit complete or are you still in progress?
Done for now. We finished in December.
Okay.
So we've been done for a while. I do have a tattoo appointment. But, you
Never
know,
done.
I know my daughter turns 18 next year, so she's like, we need to get a matching tattoo. So I'm gonna squeeze a little.
And you're like,
something
you just
in.
got to get a tattoo to match mine. That
I should have said that.
solution.
It's the back piece, honey. It's
You
the
got-
back
yeah,
piece.
you better
Love's
pick
got
it.
the design still. We got you.
A nice clean back. You can't complain about that, right? So jealous of people with clean skin. Like that's a commodity.
A lot of people assume my back is a cover up. They're like, oh, so what's underneath that? I'm like, more black ink.
It's just black.
Because it's just black on black on
Yeah.
black on black on black.
On black. Yeah.
Right.
got,
It's got a lot of
I
like
think,
shadow depth in it. It's just funny.
2 or 3 cover-ups in my back, I think it is. Which makes things a little bit more difficult.
Right. I really only have a couple cover ups. Like they were all well warranted, but like I only have a few cover ups. For as many as I have, I'm impressed I don't have more. I'll just say that.
Right. I like a good
I need to
cover-up.
post more photos. I should have pictures of you and I together on here, and I don't know if I do. Nope, I got a video of Captain and Maybell though.
Oh,
I don't think they ever
I bet on my
posted-
personal.
We got to up our game.
Yeah, I know. I bet on my
never-
personal Instagram, I've got some stuff of us together. I can never find anything on the spot though. Organization, they say, helps with things like that.
nah. Organizing stuff.
One just rolling 9-year camera roll is not the way to do it. It
I-
might not be 9 years, but it's
I
Getting
made the
there.
conscious decision to save my old photos and get them off my phone just because it was taking up so much memory.
It's a good idea.
Then I was like, well, now what the fuck do I do with them?
You just leave them there.
That's what I did.
Put them in a folder, maybe break it up a little.
Yeah.
And then just leave it there.
Never see them again.
Either that or it sits on your phone.
Fair.
So
We need to be more conscious about taking photos for podcasts too.
What do you mean?
Just having more shit to share.
Kyle and I just shared 40 minutes worth of stuff. What do you mean? What do you
It
mean?
was
We,
like
I have a spare camera.
20.
Do you need another camera?
Did you need a camera?
do we need shorter clips?
No, I'm just saying. It's all.
Because we started doing clips too.
Damn. I got all personal about it.
I'm just teasing.
You would have too.
I'll put a camera in your hand then. Like
You
if
never-
if
you
you're
can take-
volunteering
you
to
can
bring
take it with
more
you.
content,
Never
in,
even ran a camera. I wouldn't even know. It's not a thing.
Well, hey, if you take the little viewfinder screen, you can fold it back on the camera.
Thanks.
Yeah.
so these little guys up here that we're shooting from, there's one on us, one on Kyle. I think I'm gonna get a whole like rig for that thing that we can like shoot very nice, thoughtful videos. Like I'm debating on whether I want to put it in a gimbal or just have like a really nice like stabilizing.
Can we get one that straps to the shoulders and it comes out to your chest?
So, okay, if we were to do something like that, then we're talking at like a whole field setup, and then I could get a Zoom recorder, like our sound recorder that takes like 8 lines in. We could wireless in, and then the YOLO box could be on top of it, and we could literally broadcast from our chest and have the camera out here. I'm just saying, like,
These ideas.
It's gonna look so cool in that. That's all I'm saying, Kyle.
Can I get a pair of like electronic overalls to go with it?
No.
you want electronic overalls? Define electronic overalls as
No,
if they're
No, I guess I should have put that the other way around. Overalls for the electronics. And I just got pockets on pockets.
I
No,
thought they
I
were
was
just
just
some
gonna put
disco
you in
light
like
shit.
a hunter orange hunting
Oh, we can do that too. That works.
with a bush light in the pocket.
Only one? I got my bush light,
Just
my
in case.
grizzly in the other pocket.
Oh, man. It got too real. It got too real. Did we lose Andrea?
She looks like she's trying to reconnect.
Okay, well,
Kyle kicked her out.
probably did.
Hey, what's
I
this?
messed up. I got kicked out.
There she is. It was Kyle.
It was
It was
Kyle.
on
He
me,
kicked you out.
Who was that?
I'm gonna roll one of these up.
Okay. I'm gonna
Oh,
argue with you.
no.
Okay. What happened? You need a moment? We'll kill some time.
Kyle, beatbox.
My name is Kyle. I got no style. Come on,
Yeah,
Dad.
give it a second. It's fun. Keep going wild. Picking up the mic with the air drop. Kyle sitting over there, his hair flop. You guys, someone else is supposed to pick it up, right?
We lost it.
You lost it. I was jamming.
Oh man.
I said beatbox, not rap. I wasn't ready to free flow.
I was just immediately caught off guard. I wasn't ready for that.
I don't know how to use this thing. Will you give me instructions again?
Go like this. 1, 2, 3.
3. I was on the 5 click. Thanks.
You're welcome.
I break things. That's what I do.
It's all right. So I
Today's
need to
episode
get
is
my
brought
life
to you by this
together.
wonderful wax.
I'm traveling again this weekend, heading over to Jiminy Peak to help out with the needle jig event. So I will have some footage from that.
Needle
For
jig.
next
That'll be good.
Yeah.
That should be a fun event.
Yeah. Kyle was there last year. That's actually like when we met.
Yeah.
He
That was like the
such-
first time
he
I
was
like
so-
met everyone in person.
He was so quiet and timid. Poor baby Kyle.
Oh, little baby
Didn't
girl.
know a soul, except in Gabe.
Oh,
Walking
Yeah.
around in the shadows.
I miss Gabe. I'd like to give him a hug.
You want to blow work off and come to Jiminy Peak with me?
I would not have a job. When
Only 2 days.
Stay employed.
it'd be like that.
Stay
Remember
employed.
when we talked about you like working? That's a thing we're gonna need you to do. I know you like your tattoos and all, but Yeah, I might get
Mind you, his boss has a bodysuit as well.
not a bodysuit, but he's having.
But if he's covered in Marty Holcomb work, that's probably an upper bodysuit.
Yeah, he's
right?
got an upper body suit. He's got 2 half sleeves and a back piece and both his ribs done.
Just tatty here, tatty there.
Just a couple.
major.
Just all Marty Holcomb originals. You know,
Nothing
Nothing too crazy.
wizard magic.
Yeah.
She's back.
There we go.
I had to come back in. It kicked me out.
We've been blaming Kyle the whole time you were gone.
Yep. We've yelled at him
Okay.
thoroughly for you. Don't worry.
I don't know. Maybe the Wi-Fi died or something. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
That was fucking
Yeah,
Kyle's
so
fault.
I don't have enough
there's a
issues.
character that we haven't even mentioned on our show today, and that character joins us all the time, whether we want them to or not. And that character is the technology demons.
Goblin.
And they just show up sometimes. And when they're cool,
They're
they're like
always
Sour Patch
around.
Kids.
Yeah.
They just show
They're
up.
sour. And then
They're
sweet.
gone. They're not sweet.
No, when the
Oh.
stuff's working, it's pretty sweet. When it's not, it's pretty stinking sour. You know what? Can we like make a cool little Sour Patch Kid to be like our technology demon? Can we do a Sour Patch Kid with devil horns?
Yeah, we can.
Then
that
when
be
they
a sticker?
disappear,
Yeah.
then you
Can we
can
make
just put
that
them
be a
there.
thing? Yeah.
You can just
Yeah.
put them up on the screen.
Pull a little Sour Patch Kid in your place. where you
Yeah.
were.
Like,
That's just like
Right.
peek into the corner of the TV back there.
hmm
So we were talking about Jiminy Peak. That's a needle jig thing, yeah?
Yep.
And talk to me. What's going down?
You know, I'm kind of
Give me
flying
some
by the seat of my
deets.
pants. I know
No.
I'm gonna get there
What?
and help Gabe set up technology, and we'll go over what I have, what he has, and make sure we got enough setups for everything. But it's an educational event. I think there's probably going to be like 40 or 50 people attending all together. So it's a small
Nice.
event. It's not like a convention or anything, but it's just seminars and live broadcasts. So
All right.
but it's pretty cool. That's where I got to hang out with Medusa last year as well. She was in some of the seminars. That's where Renee and I became acquainted. Like you
Nice.
said, that's where Kyle and I met.
Thanks, Belle.
All those other people, cool as shit.
Ben, my mom went out with me last year.
What?
Yeah,
Where's your mom? She good?
she's good. I really thought it could go one of two ways taking my mom with me. It could either be a total disaster,
Or
just
amazing.
like you've met my mom, or it could be totally fine. and
It's
she's
one of my
gonna cook
favorite
for
people in
us.
this goddamn world. Do not even bring that bad juju on her name.
Oh, like people too, but like sometimes
Yeah.
it can derail.
Yeah. As it goes with the adults.
Yeah.
the first
Wait, can
time
we
I
start
went to
calling
Owl
them the
City, I
elders
took
yet?
my mom.
The elders.
Uh-huh. How'd that go?
She liked it. It was funny because it was like she's like watching the burlesque shows and stuff. She's like, "What's going on? I think her pants have a hole in them."
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
they're
Indeed.
coming off anyways. It didn't matter.
It's fine. All
Like-
the important parts are covered.
Oh, like you're the trooper for going with me, so it's okay.
Yeah.
We did go through like Buffalo last year, and we stopped at Niagara Falls. So that was a pretty cool like little visit on the way. And then also it's just like the perfect time of year to take a road trip or fly in or do anything because the leaves are beautiful, the trees are changing.
Fawn, you can be like a travel channelist.
A travel channelist.
Travel channel host.
Oh, I kind of liked being called a channelist though.
I mean, you
like,
can be a channelist if you want,
Mhm.
but
I don't know what that means.
today
but
on our trip to the Jiminy Peak Educational Convention.
that's how I'm gonna record my segment. I'm gonna be like, welcome.
Welcome to Jiminy Peak.
This is Fawn
And
Baker coming to you
PR.
live from the side of the mountain in Jiminy Peak. Hold on, I gotta step out of the way. The chairlift is still on.
Oh,
Oh, fun. Should be fun. It should be fun. And where is that?
It is in Massachusetts, just across the New York state line.
I've driven through Massachusetts. Never hung out there. Never hung out there.
You know, it's kind of nice. It's at a ski resort, but it's not covered in snow yet. And there's just like this little general store, like at the bottom of, the hotel area and resort and everything. They have coffee down there. You don't have to leave. You wouldn't want to because it's not a convenient drive.
It's a very
But-
lovely place.
But anything and everything you could want is right there. Like they literally have like, because it's a ski resort, there's like full apartment
Uh-huh.
style hotel rooms, like full suites. But they would have like all of the essential groceries, all of the essential spices. And then, like I said, they
Yeah.
had coffee every morning. And it wasn't just coffee, but it was like 7 or 8 different kinds of like exotic coffees to choose from with like natural sweeteners, all the different creamer and cream options.
You like the food better than the
Best.
convention, don't you? You put out a good coffee spread, and Fauna is pretty much.
Just
I haven't
find the
gotten to the
coffee,
little
that's
ladies
it.
that work there yet.
Oh no!
It's really them. They make the country store.
Oh, it normally.
I was making pancakes every morning there.
So while we were in there, while I'm talking about my mom and we're talking about this place, random guy comes in, we're hanging out. It's the end of the few days that we're there. So like we're acquainted with all the ladies and they know me and they've shown everybody my tattoo 1,000 times. And
You should
So
see
anyways-
Fauna. She's cool.
another customer comes in with this big old bag, and inside the bag, what do you think he has, Ben?
Chihuahua.
No. He has cotton candy.
What?
Not just any cotton candy, fresh cotton candy that was spun from maple syrup.
Ooh,
It was the most delightful cotton candy I've ever had. It's delightful.
sounds dangerous.
So
Can we put that on a cheeseburger?
you could put it on anything. You know what I would actually want to do is take like waffle, sausage, cheese, and then just like a little piece of the cotton candy on both sides so it would melt all over my breakfast goodness all together.
Like a cloud sandwich?
Yep.
I'll name it for you. I want you. I also want one. Maybe 2, depending on girth.
So yeah, Jiminy Peak is going to be a lot of fun.
Good. I hope it is.
We used a ton of the footage from last year for other things, but I'm going to have some specifically to share with you guys because it was a cool event. And there's going to be more educational events like this going on. I mean, they're definitely more like tattooer artist oriented events. They're not necessarily collectors events, but like, what a cool thing to like understand how much artists can push forward together. you know?
Right. Well, and it's adds more validity to the technical side of what you guys do. A lot of people think you just wake up and draw pictures and blast skin tatties. Well, there's tons of education and tons of homework and background and time that goes in that's not skin.
That you don't see.
Yeah.
Like if you knew all the hours that were spent that I didn't put on Instagram,
Right.
it would blow your mind.
Probably not.
Maybe not.
I know you. That's fair. But yeah.
I was feeling lazy the other day. I actually was being lazy all day Tuesday. I didn't do anything except go to pool league, but I did win.
Yay.
Boop, boop.
That's called recovery fun. You're allowed to do that.
Mhm.
But anyways, I was looking around as I was feeling lazy and I'm like looking at all these all these stacks of like I'm looking at all these stacks of like artwork that I've got tucked away all over my house. And it's like, man, I really have like a lot more work and accomplishments in here than I realized I had. Like it's kind of snuck up on me. Like on a day that I'm feeling lazy, I'm like, oh, that's a lot of things that I've done.
That's nice.
I can just chill here.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Days off are okay.
I mean, days off are okay, but I do have a tendency to like get carried away with it if I can. How lazy can I be? But at the same time, like I guess I'm equally as likely to be like, let's go look at some waterfalls. And 16 miles later, I'm ready for bed.
Yeah. All those words are true. And after your 16-mile waterfall hike, it's okay to take a day off.
That doesn't count as the day off,
No.
but I
That's
got to
work.
recharge with waterfalls.
Don't
Mentally, but not physically.
That's fair.
Oh,
That's
Figure
fair, I
that's
suppose.
Oh,
I'm real good at that. pull
It's
songs
crazy
out of
that
people's
there's
brains.
there's waterfalls in Ohio.
Yeah, there are a lot
It's
of
so
beautiful waterfalls
crazy.
in Ohio. Cuyahoga Valley has some of my favorite waterfalls
Really?
around. Yep.
Definitely
Um,
gotta check
Pretty
it
good time
out.
there.
yeah, I think Cuyahoga Valley National Park has like the largest concentration of waterfalls in my opinion. There are several down at Hocking. There
Yeah.
are several down like between like Yellowstone and Dayton and like that area, but what is it? The northeast part of Ohio? They're just everywhere. If you start looking for
Oh,
them, they're everywhere.
yeah.
I love them. Yeah.
Heck yeah. I look at the
Michigan,
pictures. There isn't very, I think maybe up north. Maybe.
yeah, if you go to up to the UP, there are a few, but Michigan is so duny that like you might find a few little brooks, and if you follow them, you might find a couple foot drop, but you're not gonna find
Yeah. Not
you're
like
not gonna
that.
find a 25-foot waterfall in the middle of the woods by accident in Michigan.
Right. That's like
Yeah.
insane to me. Crazy.
Where are you from?
Close to
Ballpark.
Detroit.
Okay.
Full
You
park
could have just said
Detroit.
Michigan. That'd have been fine, just so we're clear.
The dirty mitten.
What is the address
Michigan?
of where you live?
We're gonna need you to send us your current.
Michigan.
I'm this way.
If I was a 30-minute, I'd be right here.
I would be right there.
I'll be right there. That's funny.
You
Close
really
enough
can
to
like look like
Detroit.
this would be Detroit, Lansing, Flint, Ionia,
She
Grand
said
Rapids,
Jackson.
Holland, Grand Haven.
Poor Fawn.
I'm due for a visit. I haven't been up to Michigan in so long. Got all kinds of clients up there that I need to catch up with too. I've actually been feeling like I need to just plan a trip and then just reach out to everybody and be like, come get your stuff finished.
Get your tatties blessed.
Sorry, I've
Get
been
it done.
slacking. Come get it finished.
Wait, it's not that far. They've been slacking.
Fair, but like
Yeah,
if I
it's really
started the
not that
project up
far.
there, yeah,
It's not.
4 hours from where most of my clients are. That's not bad.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
No, it's not bad.
I've driven
no.
4 hours for way
I-
stupider stuff. I tell you.
Right.
Way
I like
stupider
drive
stuff.
there and drive back, so it's fine. No biggie.
It's a day trip.
I'm
Heck
in.
yeah.
Let's go.
I still got to get a hold of Bob Tyrell sometime and get with him.
Yeah.
And get my little
Oh,
Detroit
I wish I
tattoo.
had pictures to show you. See, I live by him, and one of my best friends is his stepdaughter. So I got to go watch him tattoo her. And it was like
Nice,
insane.
nice.
It was nice. Because I don't have, I have finished body suit, but he was telling me like, you just need to enjoy it after you finish it. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. I'm like, what do you do when you finish it? And he's like, you just enjoy it. I'm like, oh. Like, how do you do that? But yeah,
You look
he's
at
right.
things you want to change and you start nitpicking.
Yeah, like-
and yeah, that's me.
Well, and I'm
You know what I
used to
should
having
do here?
projects too. So it's like not having the project is
Mhm.
weird. But
It's
yeah,
almost
we're
like
practically neighbors.
Once my bodysuit's finished, I do plan on keeping my leg like from the knee down mostly open to continue collecting little pieces. Like
Yeah,
I'll
those are the
consider
fun
myself
ones.
finished once I get like the knee up done. And then I'll just have, just a little spot left for
Rat-a-tat
trinkets.
leg,
Yeah, just a little spot left for trinkets or people I meet later on. And,
a snail.
I'm definitely going to be a snail there. The snail might go on my hand somewhere, to be honest. Like maybe
Fuck.
put like a little alien snail right there.
No.
Like I got the alien Nautilus shit.
Can I get my snail with my eyebrow here?
No,
Hmm.
no. I keep teasing that I'm gonna become a very exclusive snail only tattooer.
I saw that.
That's what's going down. Snails only,
funny.
bruh. Snails only.
But
I would
I
totally
feel like
be a stick specialist, like a stick people specialist, and just make those like that.
I was trying to
'Cause people
branch
are
out of my
always-
comfort zone just a touch and learn how to
Yeah.
make that spiral.
People are always
I'm
asking
close.
me if I tattoo,
okay.
and I'm like, yeah, I tattoo already once. Like,
That's,
no, you don't want that. I can't draw.
That's literally the reason why I'm doing it, because
Yeah, like you never.
everybody. Oh, where do you work?
Yeah, where do you work? What
No,
shop do you own?
not
I'm
where
like,
you think.
no, you don't.
Yeah, yeah. What shop do you own? That's my
Yeah, what
favorite.
shop? I don't.
I know lots of people that tattoo though.
How come that's what
Right.
you get and I get, oh, your old man tats?
Yep.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, Fawn. It's because you have a vagina. I
Oh.
apologize. Guys are
I
dumb.
am the tattooer. That's just the ironic thing is you guys aren't tattooers, but
Mhm.
people assume that you
Right.
are, and I am. And inevitably, it'll be like, oh, nice leg tat. Your old man do
Right.
that?
Oh no.
Then they think it's me, and that's the funniest.
Oh no.
It really
You're
is
like,
fun.
no.
I
Oh,
can't
does he do
remember.
that for you?
I can't remember
that's
where
double
we
funny.
were. Maybe it was me, you, Corey. Anyways, it was Ben and a group of female tattooers. And like of the group of us,
Yep.
you wouldn't have imagined that we totally looked like we were your tattatu groupies though.
Oh, it
Like
was
in that
nice.
setting, it really
no.
looked like
We sat down. We went to dinner. I do.
we
remember
could
that.
have been your tattoo groupies that
And
day.
they were like, "Oh, so do you tattoo them?" And I was like, "Actually, it's quite the opposite.
It's the other
Yes, sir.
Right.
They tattoo
Exactly.
me. I can't draw smiley faces, so
Right. It's okay. I still have to listen to everybody's ideas, so it's awesome. like I know their plans for their tattoos in case I need to know later.
It's
Oh.
funny.
No-
And you know,
no
they're,
matter
like,
where I
it's-
go.
Mhm.
huh.
And they got to take their
No.
clothes off and show you.
Yeah.
Let me show
And then
you
they got
this.
to tell you what all their ideas mean.
And then
And who
argue
and
with
why.
me.
So I had this
This
cousin,
one-
right? Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead. What'd you say?
No, literally it happened. This girl was arguing with me. She said, I got this tattoo in May and it's still bruised. And she shows it to me. And I'm like, that's not a bruise, it bled. Like, you don't have a bruise 5 months later. And she was arguing with me. And I said, go to a tattoo shop and ask a professional. But I'm telling you, don't
You know
listen
what
to
I
me.
learned
Sorry,
from
sweetie.
conversations like
That's
that?
blowout.
I just
Yeah.
learned to look at them and be like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I go,
Don't
oh, wow,
negate-
here's a business card by.
Even though we
Like-
know better, if we negate, the conversation continues.
I'm at
Yeah.
work at a
Yeah.
random location, and another gentleman is there, and I am in long sleeves, pants, hooded sweat. You can't snuff, like I'm hat on. He sees my hand tattoos. Immediately, we're best friends. And I'm just kind of like, and he's taking his shirt off.
Why don't
It's
I
we're in a
have
building
you?
without heat.
Oh no.
Did I mention I had on a coat and a hoodie? And he's like,
Oh no.
and it's all just trash fucking kitchen shit. And I'm just like,
Oh no.
we're probably best friends now, aren't we, homie? Now that I gave him a
You
tattoo card, he's probably
definitely are.
listening this week to me. What up, homie? Your tattoos are trash. It's just the best way to tell the story.
It's
so, like,
just,
it's just it's
interesting.
continual.
like-
When Fawn made tattoo collecting cards, I was so excited because it was like hey, I don't want to talk to you right now. Take this. I talk about tattoos a lot. No, put this in your hand. If you want to listen to me talk about tattoos,
Yep.
there's a whole fucking show about it. Yeah,
Hours
not
and
enough sauce.
hours and hours.
300 plus.
Yeah, cool.
Fine, ladies and gentlemen, would you please excuse me for a moment while I tell my
Listen.
daughter good night.
There's about it.
We'll allow it.
I guess.
Sure.
So Kyle,
So fun.
are you going to any shows in the future? In the near future? Do you have anything planned?
Not currently,
Not
no.
yet? I
no.
just got the Jiminy Peak thing right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stay back and hold down the fort here at the warehouse, unfortunately. So I'll be missing that. But it is what it is.
So the Vegas show is going on this weekend,
Yes, it is.
and that's where the other half of the warehouse management
Hmm.
team is.
Got the whole travel team out there.
Yep. I would be there, but I think it would have been way too close. Like I would have just been rolling in and being exhausted if I would have tried to do the Vegas show and Jiminy Peak.
It's fair. Yeah.
But It's weird talking to you when you're not in front of me. I got like the little because he's like 2 feet next to me right here.
You
So
said
I
it's
just
just
wanna,
right
like-
here. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to like turn to him and talk to him, but like he's in the hole.
in the corner.
He's in
I'm
the
also
hole.
like staring this way.
It's all right. It's all right. We're getting our setup and stuff together.
We're slowly getting in together.
Do you have any shows you're going to, Andrea?
I think probably the next one will just be Motor City, I think. I don't really know of any
definitely be at
other
that one.
ones around here close. Motor City, that's always a good one. It was
Mhm.
crazy. Like this year was crazy because I'd been gone for 2 years, and it was like a little bit getting used to being around all those people, And then
Yeah, it was still kind of early, huh?
yeah, and then the last show that I went to was like right before everything shut down. So it was like, that was the last thing I did. And then it was crazy to go back there finally. It was nice to be back, but
Mhm.
like had
It's
a lot
crazy
done on my
to
bodysuit by then. I was like,
Yeah,
we
it's
had
crazy-
2
it's
years
crazy.
to work on stuff.
it's crazy to think about how much like how much we were, at least for me, like how much I realized I
Yeah.
look forward to shows and stuff like this. Like
Oh yeah.
it's one thing
for
to do it
sure.
out of routine just because I had done some of these shows for so many years, but to like
Right.
actually
Sorry, I thought I'd just slightly do that.
slide right into Ben's
I,
spot.
he was
I
like,
see.
I don't
Fill
have
up
my
the screen a
glasses
little.
on, and I'm like, what's going on? He's moving.
Oh man.
Figured it'd fill up the screen a little bit.
Kyle's starting to have fun with the equipment over there.
Like
we
in
go.
your own little seat now. You like upgraded, upgraded to a seat. Yeah, it's
That's how
always
you can,
nice
like,
to see
This is my spot back on the stage.
people.
That's how you can like Debo Ben. It's just like put your bubble right over top of him.
Just
Be like,
completely,
well, you know
I'll just
what,
leave
Ben?
it here
Bloop.
even when he comes back.
Wonder if he notices.
I'm like,
He's not watching.
oh, that's hilarious. Oh my god.
So you said you've got a session coming up, yes?
In June, already booked. So
Are you
'cause
are you
my
and your
daughter
daughter
turns 18.
are you getting something matching or are you just going to get
Yeah, we're
tattooed
g-
together?
Yeah, we're getting matching. She picked out like some wildflowers, which I'm always down for flowers. So I'm like, cool.
Nice.
Go on
Very
my trinket leg, otherwise known as traditional leg. So, it's
It's
kind of
kind of
nice
nice to have a
that
spot
leg.
to still collect, right?
Yeah, like that's my, like little doodads that, mean a little bit more. It's kind of hard with the big pieces. You can't do that, but you can still do that with the traditional.
And he's back.
Sorry.
Ben, we
What?
barely talked without you. It was
Sorry.
awful.
I didn't mean to.
It was
It was the worst moment we've had
it
on
was
the show.
complete silence.
Sorry. I didn't mean to let you down.
I just sat in your spot and we just
Stay
stared at
the
each
fuck
other.
out of
That
my
was the
chair,
best
Kyle.
part.
Oh, okay.
Kyle,
Okay.
put your bubble back up
Yeah.
there.
All right.
Okay. I'll allow
Continue
it.
to
Yeah,
stare.
that's what I thought.
That was the best part.
Did you hear that confidence?
Oh man.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I
man.
did not.
That's what I thought.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh man. Well,
Well,
I don't even know what time it is.
7:38.
38.
Be a little faster next time.
Jeez. Jeez, Kyle.
Well, that's not what I was saying. I
Do you
was
know
just
what we need?
what?
We need stuff to throw at Kyle.
I was like one of the foam bricks.
Yeah.
We have a lot of technology around. Let's not throw things.
Clear shot straight in his face.
I mean,
I've got lights behind me and
I
whatnot.
hear
Yeah,
you.
Oh,
You can see behind the curtain. There's lights. There's a table literally directly behind me.
Yeah, did you see the new product videos that
No,
are
man.
popping up on the TrueTube's Instagram? Do you want to show off some of the things that you've been working on?
We can show them off. I just made an ad too the other day
Nice.
good job, Kyle.
for some new green glyphs we got. Things are being slow, so it'll take a moment.
Good job, Kyle.
Poor Kyle. We're so mean to him.
I think it's really
Aw.
just Ben.
Yeah, it's character building. That's all. You know what people call that? It's called tough love.
Tough love.
Tough love. At the end of the day, he knows I got his back. As long as he's not doing something stupid.
Look at these little
Oh.
videos.
Oh,
So we've got like our area, and then right next to us is Kyle, and then on the other side of him is this other little shooting area.
I can't take full credit for this. Jasmine does help out as well, so it's a team effort.
Well, it's just
Yeah.
yes. Give credit where credit is due.
Yes.
I just kind of cool to show you guys are beefing up all the advertisements. Advertisements.
True Tube Supplies. Stay
I feel like I've had this forever. Where does it belong?
Pass it to Kyle.
When in doubt, skip Kyle.
I knew what was going on. But that is the rule.
So there was no doubt.
There was no doubt.
Just me lollygagging around, not paying attention to life.
Sorry, I'm not home right now. We're walking into spider webs.
Leave a message.
No doubt.
I'll call you back.
Learned it. Did he know that one?
Kyle?
Kyle, I hate
Yeah.
you. Fuck that.
No,
one.
he doesn't know that. Kyle, what song was that?
Couldn't tell you.
Oh no.
Couldn't tell you. We only listed the name of the artist and then
I
the
know.
song
Eh,
in
yeah.
that.
I wasn't paying attention.
Imagine that.
I'm imagining.
Kyle's probably like, Gwen Stefani was in a band.
Right.
Banana foot.
Right name.
Duh.
Duh.
I think
I was not the first one to point that out. Thank you very much.
I think that's gonna be the name of my next band. Banana foot. You know, like Chicken Wing or whatever that Chicken Littlefoot, whatever that one band is. Banana foot. It used to be Sweatpants Boner, but I didn't think we could play all venues with that name. So like
You got two now.
I think Banana Foot fucking floats right.
It sounds
in there.
equally as suggestive.
But it does.
It sounds exactly the same but different.
Exactly. That's why I think it'll work. That's why I think it'll work.
Oh,
Banana
it's the
foot.
same.
It's good. It's real good. It strikes the imagination. Like, what are these guys gonna play? I also want to get like the most hardcore looking group of dudes that I can together and like start doing like kids music. Like
I'll be your bass
super,
player.
like super just like
She'll be coming around the mountain kind of stuff.
but
Like
shit,
the Wiggles.
like ham it the fuck up. Like
I'm with
full
it.
on cheese
do it.
mode.
I'm with
Who
it.
will be coming around the mountain? Like sell that shit, but have like just the most just hardcore looking mofos out there do it.
As
You
we
mean
play our
like-
8 strings.
No, fuck your 8-string, Kyle. My hands aren't that big. I can't do that.
Well, you only need one of the strings.
You're very
You know, I'm all about the irony. I think you're onto something here.
hmm
or just start doing kid friendly actual awesome metal. I think there's a gap in kids music that because like my daughter
like
loves
kid
that
friendly
shit.
metal that isn't necessarily Christian metal.
Yeah, I don't want to listen to Skillet.
Isn't that like Metallica?
Shut your fucking mouth, Kyle. The fuck did you just say? No, sir. No, sir.
Oh no.
I mean, I don't listen to Metallica personally, but
Okay, so what I'm saying is like kid centered metal.
Hmm.
talking about throwing snowballs on the playground.
Just, I mean, you guys ever heard Austrian Death Machine? Right? Austrian Death Machine is an Arnold Schwarzenegger tribute band. Okay.
I'm more of a Max Sabbath person.
Okay, same gig, right? Kind of silly. Green Jelly. You know, like all their stuff's just kind of funny. They kind of filled that niche, but it's still all very adult themed, but done very well. Rubber Baby Buggy Bumpers is my favorite song by them. And it's literally about Rubber Baby Buggy Bumpers. And it's fucking hilarious. But it's metal the fuck out.
I'm about it. Maybe that's our calling. Maybe
Let's
instead
do
of
it.
being like a 90s 2000s cheeky cover band, we should make like death metal for 5-year-olds.
See, it's just gotta be death metal. I'm not that heavy.
I'll do your vocals.
just
I
want
got
the
you.
look. Fuck off my fucking microphone.
So you just want the death metal
This
look?
guy,
But we
man.
can
What's
just
he
be like
on?
I tried to
regular, like
join. Said you want a
Auditions.
band.
Auditions, guys.
Put me through one.
so you basically want a band.
I'm
that
just
looks
saying,
like the
I wanna
goth
open
kids
for
on South
Barney.
Park.
Yeah,
Right?
like I want to open for Barney, but just be like death metal kid music.
I'm
Like
with
if
it.
baby metal
Maybe
was
we
made
use
for
it.
babies. You
Baby
know?
metal. Huh.
Literal baby metal.
Literal.
There's this album that I
metal.
found on Spotify called Grunge Lullabies.
Yes.
And it's all these like
My girl, don't lie.
no, there's a Nirvana one, but I don't think that's it.
Tell me where.
That's all my daughter plays. She plays bass and she plays Nirvana and all the 90s stuff.
I said
I
there's some
get it.
music. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
She's like, you don't. Oh, whatever.
Next
Bring the
show,
wiggles.
a library of not Nirvana. Here you go.
She plays some
Um,
Jimi Hendrix, so I don't know.
Please. And Nirvana's just one of those bands that was like, would you just come out with something new already? I'm sick of listening to the same 5 songs. But
Then
yeah,
It's a good starter out,
shotguns to
though,
the face.
you know.
Say that again, please.
But it's a good starter out music, you know, like
Well, I
simple.
mean, I guess it's just been the same 5 fucking songs for the last
Right.
20 years. I'm just kind of over it,
Well,
you know? We can
well,
stop.
they
Like, if
haven't
I hear
made
Foxy
anything
Lady
in a
on the radio
while.
one more time, I might rip the radio off my dashboard. Because
Welcome to
it's
the
like,
current state of rock music.
What's
Right.
the-
There
what's
isn't
the
anything
fucking
new,
point?
so they have to play
Yeah.
old stuff.
Just stop.
I mean, I deliberately play stuff from the 70s a lot because like
Because music,
yeah, yeah. It's like, you know,
talent, you
Yeah.
know, some skill, some musicianship. There's some
Yeah.
lyricists in there.
you know, there is something different about the way older music moves.
So you're saying the video killed the radio star?
Video did kill the radio
I
star.
agree with you. Like I know that's like cliche as fuck, but there was a turning point when music stopped being about skill and started being about being popular. When the
I think
Who
maybe in like the mainstream
out.
music.
and Jimi Hendrix came out, and that's what I'm talking about. Like overall, in whole,
Mhm.
those guys weren't trying to be famous. It happened, and they were like, "Oh fuck!" Motorhead became popular, and they went, "I don't like this." You see what I'm saying? So like now, in even I'll say in the '80s, we had this huge shift to I can make noise and have fun, and people will pay attention to me, and we're gonna record this. Let's play the same 4 chords, mix them up like 3 different ways, add like 2 different beat patterns, and we just produced 80s, 90s, and now
Well,
on WBB.
Well,
Oh,
you know, maybe one of the things that's missing is the actual album. How many people actually put out albums? Where a lot of the music from the 70s, you could put on an entire album and you could listen to the story
Yeah,
front to
it's
back.
conducive thought.
Yeah. And like when you listen to a song, it was like just a movement of a bigger thing, but like there was a momentum and there was a story to it. Like I don't know, there was just still like emotional play that happened with songs that wasn't quite as canned. And I mean, you know, now there's auto tune, there's all the technology, there's all these things that make it cool. Like, you know, I'm an EDM fan, like give
Yeah.
me crunchy all day
Yeah.
long. But as far as like when I'm like vegging out and I'm being creative and I want to listen to music that makes me be creative as well, I just feel like it's easier to tap into when I'm putting on the older stuff. Like
Well-
I do change the music when Marty gets here at night, but like it's not because he asks me to. And most of the time I don't think he'd make me change the stuff I was listening to anyways, even if he could. But
Well, we got to the point
I
where
just
the
like it.
one song was what made the band. So they were more focused on releasing that one video, that one song, that one glitch that's going to launch them into popularity, right? So like then it was like, oh shit, we've got to put another 5-8 songs together to make this a package that we have to sell. And you had the one well-produced, well-managed, like, this is what's going to make you popular song. And then the rest of it was trash fill that no one wrote, that was written in the back room with some music studio by 5 guys that were like, we got to make music for these dudes. I guess it's going to sound like this. There's no soul in that anymore.
Right. It's like a homework assignment rather than like a piece of art.
It's a production, not a love. Like, when you toured that first album coming up, you knew it note for note, inside and out, upside down and backwards, because you sold the band on that album, right? So instead, now music studios are like, hey, you and you're now this band, here's your first album. They didn't go through the process of figuring out all the fills and figuring out how to conducively write an album and put all this together and map all that together.
Or to like key change at the end of a song so it flows right into the next. So
careful.
That's not a thing anymore. That's not a
delve into actual music theory here.
That's not a thing. We don't do that.
No, because albums aren't produced to be listened to from beginning to end.
It's all about singles these days.
Well, we stopped selling.
It's not even about the singles nowadays. All you need is a 5-second hook to go viral. You just need that 5-second or 15-second or 30-second hook. Like, there are some of the songs that are on top 40 right now that I listen to them, and it's like I'll hear the hook that I've heard 64,000 times, and then the whole rest of the song is garbage.
So I didn't realize the Jiggle Jiggle song, my money don't jiggle jiggle. I didn't know that was a real song.
That was from a reality show.
So like that played on someone's radio the other day when we were in the car, and I just looked at her and I was like, this is a real song? She just laughed and laughed and laughed at me. And I was like, I thought this was a fucking TV real.
Yeah. No, that's on the radio now.
Someone did that for real life. They were like, we should make this 8 minutes long. Or 5, whatever it was. It was 7 minutes too long, is what it was. And I was like, who spent money to produce this?
Well, that's the thing. You don't really have to spend that much money to produce anything anymore. Like, anybody can mix stuff up, and
that makes me sad.
The thing that I wonder is how many, like, you grew up in church, kind of almost being forced to play music.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily forced, but I started playing music at a pretty young age. So like, there's that connection to like fumbling through an instrument and then learning another instrument and learning another instrument, and like taking that pride where like right now we've got, and I don't want to discredit it, but we've got so many musicians where like they can sit down with like a synthesizer and that's all. But if you put a guitar in their hand, they can't play a chord.
Right.
If you put a horn in their hand, they don't know how to put they don't even know where to put the mouthpiece.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let alone how to put their mouth to it.
Yeah, I'm playing, all the pipes in the plumbing section.
So let's flip this back to like the tattoo conversation. Like, do you think this like the way that like technology and like sales is driving the heart out of music? Would you say that like things like the technology in rotary machines is kind of taking the heart and soul out of it, like as opposed to like coil machines? Like, do you feel like there's something that's
I don't believe that the
changing
difference in equipment is making what tattoos different. I think the pop culture is making tattooing different. Tattooing used to be a lot more exclusive, and I mean that in the best way. Just like not everybody's supposed to own a Porsche type of gig. It used to be a good marker for like, oh, you got a bunch of tattoos, you must be in this circle. And now it's anybody that knows where the shop is. You know what I mean? It used to be you had to seek out someone that did something other than walk up street tattoos. You had to really do your homework because there was only 5 shops, and you had to be like, I heard a rumor of this guy that does shit that looks like the picture, bro. I mean, like it looks like it looks like the actual fucking picture. And that
People
was like
the easy these days, getting
Right.
tattooed. Like
There's
when I started getting tattoos
135 shops in our county.
in the 90s, when I started getting tattooed, it was you had magazines to look at. You didn't have the internet, you know.
Right.
So good luck.
Right.
You know, you weren't seeing their work, you weren't seeing anything.
You didn't see tattoo designs unless you went into the shop and
Right.
opened up the flash racks.
Yep, that's it. There was
Those
no-
were the tattoos. It
Yep,
wasn't,
that
I
was
want
it.
this random thing
Nope.
off the internet. They'd be like, no,
Nope.
that's not a tattoo. The tattoos are out there on the fucking wall. Go
I didn't
pick
even
one.
know that you could get like a custom tattoo. I
I
just thought it
remember
was all
finding a
flash.
custom tattooer was a big deal. Like,
Right,
wait, I can bring you
exactly.
any picture and you can fucking whip that up.
Right. You don't even need a picture. Just come.
Like it was a, yeah, it was a big
Like-
fucking deal. I remember when portraits,
Mm-hmm.
suddenly all of a sudden we can make faces.
Yeah.
Like it went from like there was one guy in Ohio that made pretty faces to like
yeah.
there's one in every shop now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I love watching the evolution of the craft in the field and the technology and all of that, but it took some of the je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
It took some of the availability of being tattooed. Like, yeah, you used to have to know the people to have cool tattoos. You used to have to be in the circle. You had to have done your homework. You couldn't even get introduced to these people unless you knew the right people to put you in contact. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it was a thing. And when you saw somebody with 2 sleeves in public, you're like,
Yeah.
"The
I
fuck
never
are you
did.
doing, bro?
Never
Where are you
did.
from? Are you in a metal band?" So like, you know what I mean?
Maybe.
I think pop culture took the I don't know the right word, the club out of it. It used to be you knew if you walked into a room and there was
not a
5
members only anymore.
right. If you walked into a room and there was 5 heavily tattooed people in it, you knew 3 of them. You were
Yeah.
homies. You knew he was from this shop or he was from that shop, or you could figure it out within fucking 6 ways from Kevin Bacon type shit.
Yep.
You can't do that anymore. Used to be you talk to a shop owner in Columbus and they could trace their lineage back to Stony within fucking 5 people. Like I said, there's 130 plus shops in fucking Franklin County now. That's one little county inside where we're at.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot.
And there's still a bajillion shit tattoos on the street. Like, what are we doing, people?
Yeah, I feel like
are
if they're
you
getting
fucking
real,
kidding me? You can say no. You're like, fuck is that, bro? I don't want that on my body. Walk the fuck out. There's some shops. Just walk around the street. Stop getting shitty tattoos, people. That's all I'm asking.
yeah.
That's all I'm
you
asking.
got passionate, Ben. You
Bro,
got
I hate
passionate
it.
quick.
I hate it.
There's
Well,
no
me
excuse
too.
nowadays.
Me too.
Insane. There's no reason for shitty tattoos anymore. It's 2022.
I mean, unless they're
I feel like that's kinda where the
photoshopping their
divide is
stuff,
today.
then, yeah.
Well, that's a whole nother thing is people that are
Yeah.
using technology in those kind of ways.
On their
Yeah,
after.
you could.
Did I
It's
break this
really
thing?
I don't know.
horrible.
You
There
breaking
you go.
stuff,
Yeah,
Ben?
it's good.
Okay.
Jeez.
Ben got
Tired.
too amped. The
Right.
microphone had to take a nap.
Oh my gosh.
Little technology sour patch.
No, I don't understand why we still allow that to happen. And I don't want to say oversaturated, but in a saturated market,
Yeah.
and in something where there is a lot of people at the top of their craft doing their things, why are we still settling for my bro can do that for cheaper? He's down the road for $80. Why is that still a thing?
I think sometimes people don't necessarily either they don't take enough pride in themselves to care, or they're just impulsive and they're not like weighing out that, like, I don't know. Sometimes I think people are under the impression that tattoo removal is easier than it is, because
Oh,
people will be like,
yeah.
"Oh, I'll just get it lasered off," but it's expensive. Like
It's
a se-
painful as shit.
a session to remove an
Painful.
$80 tattoo you got up the street, that might be 3 or 4 or 5 sessions to get it removed at several hundred to a few $1,000s an appointment. Like,
Ridiculous.
so
When somebody tells me that they're bargain shopping, it hurts my soul.
Right.
Because it's like you can always find somebody to do it cheaper, but it's fucking permanent, people. Like this is going on your body.
Take the time to do
other
it
thing
right.
is like people that don't want to wait. Like they're
Right.
down to
What
pay
do you
whatever,
mean
but they
you're
don't
Like,
want to
no
wait.
months
patience.
out?
It goes back to that good, cheap, and fast.
You
the
can have
triangle of the good, cheap,
you can
and
have
fast.
2 or the 3. Which do you want?
I'll pay whatever. It's my body. It's the rest of my life. So that means I'm gonna have to be willing to also wait my turn.
I feel like anybody that's in a rush for anything isn't valuing the
Kyle.
right thing.
Have you ever heard of an emergency tattoo?
An
A couple
emergency.
times. I have.
I need this car right now. I need
Oh
this
no.
watch right
I
now.
need to get this tattoo right this
This
second. You
phone
just
just
don't
came out.
understand
I
how
need it right
valuable it
now.
is.
I need a firearm right now. All of these things. If you can't wait on a luxury, you haven't prioritized your fucking decision here. Like you haven't prioritized your life. If you're like, this is an emergency and this is a rush, your poor planning does not constitute my emergency. So like, I understand you're excited and I get that you're excited, but why are you going to downgrade what you're trying to do just because you're in a rush? Well, I'm going to go to the person that's available today. There's a reason they're available today.
I had somebody
Right,
hit me
that's-
up that
that's
wanted a large
exactly it.
cover up before their wedding, and it was just like one of those, like, that's only a few weeks away. Like, you could have let me know like months ago, and this could have been taken care of by then. And they were super insistent. And I was like, so Pat Von D makes this fantastic tattoo concealer. Go ahead and buy it for $28. Cover it up for the day. Be done with it.
Fawn,
What?
I want to hire an airbrush artist to come in and untattoo us.
Untattoo us?
Yeah.
That
I want to
stuff
walk
is
around like a
awful,
normie for a
though.
day.
It's so thick
You
and
just have to wear
it
pants.
does not come off for a while.
Stop ruining my dreams.
It's
Just take an extra long
I used
shower.
to do background extra movie stuff, and they'd get so mad at me about having tattoos, and I'm like, I just need like a long sleeve. It's no big deal. No, we're gonna put this cover up on, or they'd have to change my tattoos so they wouldn't get sued, supposedly, like drawing
Right.
them because the whole Mike Tyson thing. So
Oh
even the
man.
Hangover, the lawsuit. For
What's
that.
funny is
So,
we're Kevin Bacon like one step away from the guy that made that tattoo. Like I know that dude. Like friend of a friend.
Nice.
but it's
He was
also
like,
a very
yeah, I'm getting my
common
money.
tribal tattoo. It's not.
No, that was original. He hand drew
It's
that.
the placement
yes.
original. The placement is
It's-
what makes it,
It's tribal.
right.
I'm not supporting his decision. It's
Right.
tribal. Like
But it's like
92 called. It wants its flashback.
it's insane to me. Like I had paperwork saying that I was allowed to be filmed, and they were still too scared to film me. Like, no, you gotta change your tattoos and hide them, and then good luck getting that cover up off. It's like
Right.
paint.
I want to do it one day and see if people's reactions are different to you.
They are.
They will be.
They really
Mhm.
are.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I
I
want
do.
to
Yeah.
oh, is this how normal people go through their day?
Yeah.
Kind of day.
Well, you know how much fun I would have with the, like, I walked into a place with my hat on versus walking into a place with my hat off and dreadlocks hanging out.
Uh-huh.
Same person, 2 days apart, totally different
Yeah.
experience.
Before hands, I wore a lot of suits and had a businessy job, and was treated completely different in shirt and tie than tank top and shorts. And I loved that switch. Like it was a lot of
Yeah.
fun to me
I always
to put
think
on a
it's
suit
funny,
and be
too.
like,
yeah.
you don't even know. You don't even
Yeah,
know.
I think it's funny. I've had doctors say stuff to me, so like rather insulting stuff. And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
are you kidding me? One doctor was like, he saw me in the summer, he saw me in the winter first. saw me in the summer and was like, oh, we need to do a hepatitis test. I'm like, are you kidding me? Where do you think I got my tattoos from? Like,
Jail.
Yeah.
Definitely
You're
jail.
definitely in
the floor.
jail.
my
the
prison
floor.
time.
The prison,
That's
the
My
hep C
prison
floor.
that is
time.
my least favorite question. How many of those were done in jail?
All of
Oh,
them.
All of them.
you know, lifer, baby.
My
The
prison
fuck do you
tat.
mean? They got teal in jail now. Yeah.
They do. They smuggled it in.
Every
It's real
every
sanitary.
color.
Well, that's what the badges are
Special
for.
sauce. But I do
There's no
love
contact.
that. Change the way
It's
people
it's
treat
my
you.
least favorite. I want a normie day. I want to put on like super dad shorts and like a tank top.
You want to have a Docker day?
Only if they're front creased shorts.
Let's do it.
Pleated pockets.
Let's do it. You can be golfer and I'll be lady golfer.
Okay, I'm in. Just
Oh.
for a day though.
I feel like even if I'm dressed up as a lady golfer, people are gonna make assumptions.
I love golf and people look at me weird, so it's okay.
I'm in.
You have to go to like the shadier courses.
The not so nice end of town.
Yeah, they call it hacker courses. So like
Love it.
they don't notice as much.
Yeah, we could normie out. Like really all I'd have to do is cover up my hand. That's easy. I have
Yeah,
enough
yeah.
concealer to do that right now.
I just think it'd be fun.
Where are we gonna have a normie day at?
The MCL cafeteria.
The what?
It's like the old person cafeteria. It's like buffet on the conveyor belt. You walk up and you get your tuna melt.
I think we need to go somewhere classier than that.
That's not fun.
So like a Bob Evans.
Actually, to be honest, the Bob Evans would probably be like the perfect place to have an experiment. Like
Because it'd be a good mix of people.
It'd be a good mix of people, but like we could go in one day dressed nicely, and then maybe even it'd have to be like the following day. We wouldn't want to do later in the day because it could be a different staff. But we could go in like on a Monday dressed like Sunday best, like non-heathens. And then Tuesday we could go in same time dressed as ourselves. Or I tend to dress a little bit more homeless than you do, but
we're in this.
I wore sweatpants the last 2 days. I couldn't wear
I'm wearing
them
sweats
today.
today.
Talking about.
Oh my god.
I'm
Gotta live in
in. I want to go to like a government building though. I want to go through a security checkpoint. I want to
TSA.
Yeah.
I skip right through TSA.
I
Even with
never
my
get
dress.
fucked with a TSA.
Yeah.
I just wink at them.
Yeah, I think it's
we're
because I'm
good.
such an eye contact communicator
Yeah.
that I think just
Oh,
out of general
fun.
habit, I think my eye contact.
I almost got in a lot of trouble the last time I flew.
Did you forget you had a knife?
No. We're standing where you put your little shit into the tubs, and there was a blankie and a neck pillow and a teddy bear in the tub turned sideways that never got pushed onto the fucking conveyor belt. And I'm looking around and I don't see anybody like unloading or anything still. And like fuck, what do we do? It's obviously a kid's shit, you know what I mean? And I look at the guy behind me and I'm like, we allowed to just push this through because it's pre-security and they're getting ready to like check it. And I know there's probably somebody at the other end looking for it. And he just kind of looked at me and he was like, yeah, we can do that. I was like, all right, I just need somebody else to tell me it was okay. Cause like, you know, you're not supposed to leave your luggage unattended and blah, 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 blah. But I'm like, we're at the fucking x-ray machine. Like this, you know. And luckily when we pushed it through, there was a guy on the other side, literally pacing and like looking in the thing and like asking the people and this, that, and the other. And then it popped out with our stuff. And he was like, I was freaking out, blah, 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 blah. This is my kid's stuff. I was like, we just kind of pushed it through. Shh. I thought I was going to go to jail.
Why would you go to jail?
They're mean at airports.
Pushing
If you don't follow the rules.
stuff.
I also had a bunch of weed in my bag. So I didn't want to get in
Oh,
trouble
so
for
you were
it.
just you were just nervous just
paranoid.
because you were
Oh no,
nervous.
they okay. I am not an official spokesperson for TSA nor any like laws Any
Disclaimer.
type of where you live and what you do in your city is up to you. But it has been my experience as a frequent flyer that they generally do not fuck with small amounts of marijuana in your luggage. So the rules are so convoluted and so different where you are and what you're doing. As long as you're not carrying bricks, they don't give a fuck. And I've actually heard of people carrying bricks and they don't give a fuck because the rules are so different now, right?
They're looking for hazardous things.
They're looking for weapons
And explosives.
and
Yeah.
like the list of things you're not allowed to have. Weed's not on that list. I will encourage you to do your own motherfucking homework. And we've said this a bajillion times. Don't ever listen to me.
The note one time that when they pull your luggage and they search it, you have
Mhm.
like a note in it. That's only happened one time.
I had my luggage pulled coming back from Vegas one time because I bought olive oil and balsamic vinaigrette.
I
Or
don't know why
balsamic
mine
vinegar.
got pulled. I think it was just random. I
They
don't
thought it was
remember there being
liquor.
a reason.
They thought it was open bottles of liquor.
Nerd.
I am a nerd. I went to Las Vegas and bought oil and vinegar, and it was fucking delicious. Okay, that's probably the most expensive cooking thing I've like ever bought. That probably 16-ounce bottle of olive oil was like $130. The vinegar was more than that.
But I
But
bet
it was
delicious.
fucking delicious. I made so many salad dressings.
Nice.
So we need to go get some bougie olive
I think
oil
I'm
and
just
vinegar.
hungry again, guys.
There's a olive oil place at North Market.
Yeah,
You're like, I don't want to.
I hear you, and it's probably
I
way
saw
better.
you turn your nose up. I saw it.
It's
It
probably
happened.
way better than what's at my house right now. But yeah, but that's the only time they ever searched my luggage, and I've flown with some questionable things. But it's one of those things like, don't act like you're doing anything wrong. They don't act like you're doing anything wrong.
Agreed.
And what's the worst that's going to happen? At least here in Columbus, we're decriminalized. That's a fucking misdemeanor. What's the worst that's going to happen? It'd be like, my bad. I forgot to take my bag out of my bag. Whoops. Here we are, Rafi May style, standing here at fucking my B, bro. We got some options. I can pay you $65 in like 3 weeks, and you can take this stuff, or you can shut the fuck up and let me get on my plane. How much time do you want to waste today, sir? It's really up to you. Now, again, I'm in no way, shape, or form a legal authority. My advice cannot be held up in a court of law. And I feel like I say this more often than I need to on this show. And don't ever listen to Ben. We should have a segment called "Don't Ever Listen to Ben."
Don't ever listen to Ben.
Isn't
What
that
is
just the whole
wrong?
episode?
Don't.
Yeah, just saying. Just saying. Yeah, never had a problem.
Well, knock on wood. Hopefully we never do. That's not wood. This is wood. Good job. Jordan's over there knocking on wood.
I heard him.
We got a whole wooden table now.
Woodpecker call.
Teamwork. It's a woodpecker call.
It is today because I'm scratchy, man. Feel like I've been talking all day.
The last couple hours, anyways.
I may have violently yelled at a few people earlier today. as
Why
well.
did you violently yell at anybody?
Because the IQ of the general population is lower than we think it should be.
That's very true.
And I just look at people and I'm like, "You're fucking. What are you doing?" Boy, yes, the fucking. It happened like 4 times today. I don't know if my rage stick was just short today. I don't know what it was.
I think it's a little bit of A, a little bit of B.
But like everybody was just in the fucking way today. I almost threw my shoe out my window.
No, we can't. Can't be
None of us are
hard.
ever going to be as good as you, Fawn. Fawn, did you hear an episode where she was road raging with somebody? She threw a fucking banana peel out of her car window, and it went through homie's sunroof and smacked him in the fucking face.
Oh no.
First of all,
She Mario Karted this motherfucker at 7.
it wasn't at 70. We were gridlocked traffic. Second of all, I didn't throw it at her. I kicked it in universe, kicked flipped that sucker right into his.
Oh no.
In no way did I intentionally hit this guy. However, it still happened.
Fun stories
And
of the day.
he's raging out and he has nowhere to go. All the other traffic around us boxed him
Oh
in
my
because he
God,
was
that's
being such a
amazing.
jerk. So
Yeah.
he's just sitting there being angry and
Fun banana this fucking face. So I wish I was there.
it took him a minute to register what had happened, and the way that I was sitting there like
Oh,
was probably not helpful.
I
I just like to smile and wave when they're mad. I don't know why.
banana foot, motherfucker.
Makes them more
I've never been more proud of. Can I just throw that out there?
I'm just saying I appreciate that, but we can't be Mario Karting strangers all the time.
Okay,
Not with that
strangers.
attitude.
Here's how we stop getting Mario Karted.
Drive like a normal person, use common sense and manners. That's it.
3 things. Don't be a dumb fuck. However many that is. I might fall into the first
All
3
the
too
things.
as well.
It's all the things.
Non-driving ass motherfuckers.
I feel like it's getting worse in Columbus.
Do you know what I think the problem is?
Tell me what the problem is.
Our CODA system, A, blows, and B, there's no like actual public transportation.
Yep.
If you go into any other fucking city our size, we've got our buses, and I not CODA, but they're actually really good around here for what they do. They run a solid fucking program, but they don't go everywhere. You can't really get downtown access with them. You can't really get like, we have no mass public transit. We have no rail system. We have no carts. We have no fucking trolleys. We've got no
I bet
underground.
it's not far off.
We don't have the infrastructure for it.
I bet it's not far off.
We just keep dumping more
we'll
money
end
into
up
roads
with
and
like
roads and roads
something,
and roads
you
and
know
roads
how
and
like Detroit has the people mover. I bet we end up with something like that downtown that's elevated above. I bet that's going to be
Can
the
we
route.
get Futurama style fucking
Tubes.
tubes.
Who do we talk to? Who do we talk
Like
to?
how they
about
have at the
this?
bank.
Someone with a pneumatic tube system.
I feel like that would give me an earache.
Well, if the inside of your tube is pressurized different than the outside of your tube, it'd be fine.
All
So
right,
same
all right.
reason you can ride an
Dual
airplane.
pressure. Dual
Same
pressure.
reason you can
Okay.
ride an
I
airplane.
wasn't imagining my vehicle to be pressurized. I was
Well,
just
it'd be-
imagining the little scooter at the
It'd be
bottom. of it.
pressurized just from you shutting the sealed door, because if you're going to be in something pneumatic, you can't have that hole there.
Yeah, I hear you now. I was just imagining the seal.
People
at the
should pay me
bottom.
more money, and I should invent stuff.
You should be a civil engineer,
I think that's the conclusion of the day.
design playgrounds, for children.
Never. What? I mean, yeah, dead kids. The world is overpopulated, though. Maybe that's a good idea.
Hey, amen.
So listen to this.
That's a good idea.
My brother several years ago.
Kyle supports killing kids, just so you guys all
Yes,
heard that
yes.
fucking clearly.
Several years ago, my brother nerded out and highly over-engineered a tractor for his children to play on in the side yard that was taller than their house. Needless to say, he did a lot of homework before he built said structure. And in doing this, he realized there's no code for playground equipment.
Nah,
There's no code at all.
none.
Like it doesn't have to be anchored a specific
Nope.
distance into the ground. It doesn't have to bear a specific amount of weight. Like,
They're kids. They'll live.
so this, you can imagine.
spongy.
They're not a rubber until they're like 13. You can
You-
bounce those fuckers off the floor.
You
They're
guys,
good.
you guys have heard me talk about what a nerd my brother is,
Yeah.
but this thing was like, so it was like a giant wooden track hoe, and the scoop on it was actually a bench swing. And then there was a remote that they, or like a rope that was attached to a lever that they could pull, and like it was highly over-engineered. But he's like, this thing will like withstand a tornado.
Oh.
It was like he
LB
He
looked at me
anchored
and she
that
was like,
sucker.
Daddy, they sell playgrounds over there. We were at one of the stores that has them all out back or
Mhm.
whatever. She's like, can we put one in the backyard? I was like, no. And her face just went super. It's like, you dick. To this day, instant hurt. It's just like that. Well, you can't run a weed eater. As soon as you can run the weed eater, you can put a fucking playground. Daddy ain't got time for lawn care, and that's all that is extra lawn care.
I suppose that's fair.
Yeah. Also, I wouldn't watch her and she would die. And then I would feel bad because she tried to do a backflip off the swings and snapped her neck off. And I was the guy inside,
Well,
probably getting high.
Which doesn't look good in the court system.
I'm at my house. It's whatever.
Huh?
I'm kidding. I don't leave my daughter alone and just saying it was a joke. It's a fucking joke, people.
It's a comedy show.
I can feel you.
comedy.
What's up, puppy? I want to say hi to the puppy.
Booby, come here.
Oh, what a cutie.
Every time a dog comes on the show, everybody makes the same noise.
And what's the puppy's name?
It's Penny.
Oh, Penny. Hi,
It's
Penny.
Penny.
Like Penny and Pongo.
Yeah.
Purdy.
Purdy, that was Purdy.
emotional
I'm
support
sorry. I'm sorry.
Dalmatian.
Is she really an emotional support Dalmatian?
She really, I mean, not technically, but
You're like,
But we got that vest off Amazon now.
we're best friends.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it.
She's a rescue. No one wanted her. They all said she was crazy. She's a little bit.
well,
Oh,
I think it's cool the way that animals come to it's almost like animals come, like the
Absolutely.
right animal comes to the right person at the right time. Like when you say it's a shame that nobody wanted her, it's because
they
she wasn't
she
meant
was
for
given
them.
back about
Yeah.
3 times.
because she was your dog.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what I said too. She was like 2 when I got her. So, and had puppies. And everyone adopted her puppies.
Aww.
Everyone wanted her puppies, but no one wanted her. And I'm like, that's my dog.
Yeah.
Well,
I my first dog as an adult, I almost hit with my car. Coming
Nice.
home, working late night, middle of the winter. And I used to live, the alley where I parked was like up this hill. And I'm coming up the hill, and this dog is at the top of the hill. It's freezing. I'm hauling a trailer. I'm soaking wet and not in a good mood. And this dog, I have to slam on my brakes. I'm halfway through this turn. My trailer's still on the road. I'm like, get the fuck out of the road. You know, it's 3:34 in the morning. And I get out, and she just looks at me with like deer and fucking
Aw.
headlights, like, and can't move. Like she's frozen. Not literally frozen, but like doesn't know what to do. So I swoop this dog up, giant embedded collar, throw her in the truck. I'm like, all right, like I'll at least warm you up or whatever. We'll put some fucking posters out. I don't know. Nope, dog never left. Had puppies on my floor. 3 days
Aw.
later,
Oh no.
same gig. I was like, I'll keep one of the puppies and get rid of the mama. And everybody swooped up the other dogs, and I was like, well, you're my friend now. She was my road dog for years and years and years.
Yep.
But yeah, they come to you.
Yeah,
They know.
I'm over puppies anyways. I'm like, give me one that's already, house trained. Not gonna eat everything.
Yeah. I'm definitely thinking that in the future, I'm going down to a 1 pet household. I've got a zoo right now, and it's a lot. And I love them all. That's why they're all still alive. But yeah, I think I'm going to be on a no replacement policy for a while. And then like once I'm sad and all alone, maybe I'll get like a Frenchie.
Maybe a Frenchie.
No, it's going to be a Frenchie.
It's
But
good. It's
I want an all day dog. I want a dog that's small enough that it's portable, can be well trained enough that is well mannered enough to be everywhere that I need to be and do what I want to do.
You know, Ben, I hoped my dog was going to be in the ballpark of like 40 or 45 pounds so that she could be an everywhere all day dog.
Your
Like,
baby
she
hippo.
She could, but she's like a solid 70 plus right now. Like
Yeah.
she's a little intimidating when
She's a
she's
couch
that
hippo.
muscly. I mean, yes, she is a couch hippo, but when she's out and she's excited, like not only do her muscles pop out, but like all the like veins on all of her muscles pop out.
Got
So when
little
I say,
baby
and
dog.
she's like a blue and white American bully dog. So she's like as
Oh,
tall as
wow.
my knee, but like 75 pounds.
You-
But like
Like
she
all
literally
muscle.
looks like a gargoyle right now. When we went out to Hell City for that road trip, I was gone for 10 days. So she was with my sister and her kids, and she's got like multiple acres and a pond to run on. So Lola was just running and running and chasing the ducks and swimming and chasing the kids and chasing the ducks and running. And when I picked her up, she was like 10 pounds bigger than when I dropped her off. And it's all like in her shoulders and like, so she's still just as cuddly as ever, but she looks a little intimidating right now
Aw.
when she's that muscly.
Why she's a baby hippo and
Yeah.
I want to squeeze your face.
She's my guard dog.
I miss Lolo. I haven't seen her in a long time.
Come hang out.
That makes my
I always come over to your house.
I know.
I mean, usually it's more convenient for me to come over there, but come over and hang out.
Inside person.
Well,
Sorry.
she likes company.
I know.
She really does. Do your dogs like company, or do they have to go away when you've got people over?
My dogs love company. But my mom was over yesterday and my Dalmatian likes to go like this. But she scratched my mom because she's got real sensitive skin. And she's like, I'm bleeding. I need a band-aid. I'm like, oh man, she's just trying to say hi. She didn't mean to hurt you.
Yeah.
I have a
They
I have
do
an
that.
old
That's why they
English.
want to touch.
They
Mhm.
They
touch
wanna
it.
touch you.
I've got an old English bulldog. And
Oh wow.
Otsley's, what, 80 pounds? 75, 80 pounds?
Yeah, he's not, I mean, he's taller than Lolo, but not much bigger.
Yeah, but he's pretty much hip height, right? He's a little
Mhm.
under hip height, head wise. He's a fucking tank, and he's just so goddamn excited when people come over. And it's
Yeah.
like there's this 5-minute period of like,
Chaos.
we'll get past this, I promise. But
Then they go
once
lay
he
down
chills,
and
he
forget
chills.
about it.
I found the best thing to do with Ben's dog, and I've started doing this with all new dogs that I meet because it works so well with both of yours, is when I get there, because his dogs really like me, they get super excited. And like if I don't greet them right away, then they just get more energetic. But I like literally put my backpack down and I just drop to my knees and I like hug both of them and rub on
Yeah.
both of them.
It's
And
one
then
of-
I stand up and greet everybody else.
It's one or the other. It either works really well or it puts him into super, oh my god, she's on her level mode. And it's one or the other.
Mhm.
Most of the time it works really well, but sometimes it backfires. And now we've got rooms.
If there's somebody else there, I feel like that's when they don't set, because then they're like if Eric happens to be
Yeah,
there, and
yeah.
I mean, they know Eric
Yeah.
even better than they know me, but I think it's like too many of their favorite people and they don't know
Right.
what to do, where, when.
My brother's dog. Okay. So my brother's dog was one of mama's puppies,
Mhm.
right? So this dog was stillborn. I sucked mucus out of its fucking nose and like rubbed
You
it back to life.
101 Dalmatian it?
Yeah,
Aw.
like legit.
I did that to a puppy once.
Broke it out of its little sack or whatever. Like it was gross. But Willie, as he named him, every time this dog saw me, got so excited he pissed on my shoes. He'd come running, trying to jump, and not like stop, squat, aim, like would just piss on my like free
He was
flowing.
just so excited he couldn't hold it at all.
my oldest brother, he looks at me and he's like, it's because you're his Jesus, bro. Like you brought him to life. Like you're his God. You know that, right? I'm like, oh
Aw.
man. Like
Hmm.
so
That's
yeah,
deep.
it could get worse. I was like, that's what's my point. You could get urinated on every time the dog sees you.
That would be worse.
Yeah, it sucked.
Mhm.
How did we get on this bunny trip? Oh, cute Dalmatian. That's right. I'm like, how
Dogs.
did we get on dogs?
My dog was like, you're ignoring me too long. I need to come see you.
Yeah.
Well, we could go ahead and wrap this thing up. What time are we at? 8:30?
Wow. That's good. We good.
Wrap this thing up?
We could. Is there a required time link?
No.
Nah. So
No,
yeah,
not
we can
really.
wrap this up then.
I mean, I try not to go longer than 3 hours, but
Yeah,
there's not like a goal to hit.
There's a
3
cutoff, but
hours.
not a requirement.
15-minute mark. But like there's something about after that 3-hour mark. We all just are kind of like, this is done. This is done.
It's a
We're
lot of time
done.
to just sit here.
Done. I don't want to talk.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Oh, man.
It really is. Like subconsciously, I could not even be watching the clock, and we hit that 3-hour mark, and my brain just goes, "Okay, well, I'm mush. Good night."
I get there around 2.
Those conversations though, where it's been a while since we've really gotten that into it where like we just go, and it's like 20 minutes after and it's like we need to wrap up like now. Like, sorry guys, we got carried away.
Nerding out.
But sometimes like I feel like sometimes as we're like talking and discussing, I feel like that first hour, we're kind of settling in, and then that's when our conversation kind of really starts. I feel like some episodes that it takes a little while for it to turn on, but once it does, it's like
it's the weed.
It could be the weed.
Don't tell anybody.
Stop the momentum. Well, let me ask you this, Ben.
What?
Should we wrap up and then I roll up, or should I roll up and then we wrap up?
How about we wrap up, roll up thoughts?
I like the way you think.
I'll go to the same place after this.
Is Kyle coming back to your house?
Fuck it. Yeah.
I didn't know we were going back to your house.
Well,
okay.
We're gonna hang.
Surprise.
We're gonna hang. So I guess we're gonna have some.
If we're gonna continue this party, let's just
do it. Let's take
It
the.
was great to meet you. I really had a good time talking.
Yeah,
to you.
thank you so much for coming on.
Really like your
Thanks for
collection. I
having
think it's
me.
really well put together.
We didn't even really get into Loaf's work. We had his page queued up, but we didn't even really.
I pulled it up for a little bit.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was in the back.
Okay. Well, good.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't paying attention then.
Jesus.
Well, I was smoking a lot of weed.
Yeah,
You were driving the conversation.
it happens.
I suppose.
Good job.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. I would definitely love to have you on again sometime.
Thank you for having me.
If you hit up any conventions or anything, let me know, because I definitely love getting notes and like just hearing what the different shows are like, because we obviously can't hit all of them.
If
but-
you want to be a field correspondent,
Heck yeah.
no, like for real,
I got this corner of the world covered for you.
please. I think something I would like to start doing is start if you're at a show, if you're just a tattoo collecting homie, not feel obligated, but feel welcomed to snap some photos, get some good shots, send them over to us, and then be like, hey, I went to this show, let's talk about it.
Right.
I love the more involved, the more people, the more we can grow our little community, the happier I am. So please, all past, present, future guests, if you're ever at a show, snap some photos, tag us, tag you, tag everybody you want to tag, and then send them over to us and let's have a talk about it.
Yep. We like talking tatties.
Please and please.
And what's the page they should tag for all the viewers?
Tattoo Collecting 101.
Good job, Kyle. Isn't that your job?
I brought it up at least, didn't I?
You were so close to doing it right then. I love you, Kyle. I'm sorry I've been so rough on you tonight. Well, just sad on my inside.
You were only
parts.
rough at the beginning. It's like you sleep last half show.
He's
You had to get it all out of the way.
He's lucky. Daddy had his mix.
Just been holding back.
Fun.
Ben.
What's your things that the people find you on the interwebs so they can worship your art?
All the ways to find me are just Fawn Baker or Fawn Baker Art on Facebook, fawnbaker.com, Fawn Baker on Instagram, or you can find me at Tattoo Collecting 101.
Tattoo Collecting
Coming to you
101.
live every Thursday at 6
Boom.
p.m.
Do you want to put out any type of your things?
I'm on Instagram, Andria R99. That's about it.
Ben,
Wunderbar.
you recently changed your Instagram
I did.
layout.
I did.
Re
I made it more.
Why don't
tattoo
you shout it out?
collecting, essential, if you will. I've decided to make my other
I'm
pages. more
flattered that
personal.
my face is in your profile picture, by the way.
He's my homie. He's like sissy. Why wouldn't he be?
Touches my heart.
I think I changed mine. I think it's Benny T Collecting 101.
Something
Mhm.
like that.
Something
Yep.
like
That's
that.
exactly right.
On the
Nice.
Insta Snaps grammar book.
Yep. Next week, I'll be coming to you. Well, I'll be back here. I will be back here, but I will have footage from Jiminy Peak.
I am
So,
excited.
yeah.
Will be great.
Kyle, where do people find you?
No one gives a shit.
Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't know.
Please
Okay.
tell us where you're from, Kyle.
You can check me out, Skies of Fire Tattoo on Instagram. Check out the artwork I'm doing.
Yay.
Cool. All right. Thanks.
love and chicken
Thanks again
grease.
for joining us, Andrea. Everybody
Thanks
else,
for
we
being here.
will come to you next week.
Yeah, great to meet you.
Bye. Good meeting you. Bye.
Bye.